Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by my brother there in Florida, or Aaron Turner. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I got caught between two words, Orlando and Florida there, but yeah,
it's all the same. It works.
How are you? How are you feeling about this? Been a hell of a week of professional wrestling, man. It's been crazy. Ring of Honor shutting down, which we're going to cover here today. Mandy Rose, your lady, as we see by your screen name, winning the belt off Raquel Gonzalez. Halloween Havoc. It was okay. It wasn't great, but AEW continuing the run that they're on with a fantastic set of shows here. Shotzi turning heel. So much happening. And, of course, the Dark Side of the Ring Steroid Trials episode as well. There's a lot of wrestling news to talk about here for sure, Aaron. How are you feeling about it now?
I feel good. I mean, yeah, AEW Dynamite might have been good, but Rampage was not.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that later. But
right.
Yeah, apparently I had heard that the Abaddon and Britt Baker match was not good. And I watched it today, and it is not good.
Yeah. We've said this before on the show. There's a dearth of talent for Britt Baker. Once you get past the first couple of ladies on that roster, it starts to get a law of diminishing returns as you go down the line. So that may be one of these flaws that AEW needs to address. If you're going to give Britt Baker the kind of challenge and incredible matches that she deserves and build her up as a massive superstar, for sure. You know, nobody becomes a star fully until they face people who can challenge them in multiple programs here in the world of professional wrestling. So she certainly deserves that for sure. So Senior Nerd said it was nasty to look at. All right, there you go.
Sure was.
Good point there. All right, so we're going to get into all of this stuff. Before we do, please remember the Streamlabs and SuperChats are open. Support the show. Send in your Streamlabs. You see the address there. It is right above Aaron's head. It's also pinned in the chat. It's in the description of this video as well. Show your support on this Saturday for us talking some professional wrestling and getting into it. There's a lot of controversial things we're going to talk about today, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. Who knows if Aaron and I are going to be on opposite sides on some of these things? We shall see. All right, Aaron, where shall we start, my man?
All right, we're going to start with some sad news, man. Ring of Honor will be closing its doors in December of 2021 after their final battle pay-per-view. It was announced this week. Ring of Honor is going to shut down and do a bit of a rebrand, they said. They will start producing shows again in April as part of this rebrand, so it looks like they're going to take about 4 months off to kind of figure that out. All talent that is currently under contract will be released from their contracts after that pay-per-view or right now. So whichever they want, I guess. But they will continue to get paid through Ring of Honor if they stay contracted until March of 2022. Ring of Honor did note that they have paid talent for 18 months during the pandemic as it continues to rage across the world. And they're very proud of that, as they should be, because that's really cool. But, the pandemic has done so much to people and so much to these companies. And if you can't run shows, you can't bring in revenue, you can't make money, you can't pay people forever. So it was kind of, we knew that some of these dominoes would fall. Unfortunately, Ring of Honor looks to be one of those dominoes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was also mentioned this week that Sinclair Broadcasting, who has held the rights of Ring of Honor TV since 2011, will be adding WOW to their programming lineup. So, of course, we've talked about WOW to an extent with them relaunching with Tessa Blanchard as kind of their flagship talent again. They're putting a lot on her, and AJ Lee coming in as an executive producer.
Yeah.
So a lot going on here. It sucks because Ring of Honor has been like that stalwart wrestling program. Like you can deal with like the sports entertainment of WWE, you could deal with like the AEW stuff, but like pure wrestling is Ring of Honor, right? So, and I mean, look at all the people that have come through there, and I'm probably going to leave a lot of people out, but like just off the top of my head, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, who was Tyler Black, and you had like Davey Richards and Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels and all these people that came through Ring of Honor. Kevin Owens, who was Kevin Steen, and then Sami Zayn, who was El Generico. All these great people had come through Ring of Honor, and they have good talent. You know, Damian Priest, of course, was there as Punishment Martinez, a more recent person. But Yeah, Ring of Honor, who had just really started ramping back up because of the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, is now it looks to be like they say they're going to rebrand, but this kind of feels like they're waving the white flag, like they may be done.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Ring of Honor here?
Well, I mean, they've been around for 19 years now. Pretty incredible run for them to do so on such a small independent scale. And then, of course, in 2011, Sinclair bought them out. But you've got, as you said, Aaron, you had a number of people that rolled through there. So clearly they know how to spot talent and they know how to groom this talent. In 2002, the era of Honor begins. That one had CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, and Nigel McGuinness on the card. So, I mean, look at 19 years afterwards, we've seen CM Punk become a superstar in the WWE, leave for 7 years, and then come back to bring AEW to the next level. So it's an incredible road that a lot of these stars have walked for the last 19 years who were part of Ring of Honor. And I was reading a number of pieces on this. Justin Barrasso on Sports Illustrated talking about how he felt that it's been mismanagement. It's not just the pandemic. A lot of people defaulting to the pandemic, but they're saying mismanagement from the top. They had the Young Bucks. And apparently the Young Bucks, it's been kind of intimated that the Young Bucks received an insulting offer, that if they had received an offer not to where AEW paid them, they were willing to stay if they had met a certain level for them. And Ring of Honor was unable to do that vis-a-vis the Sinclair Broadcasting Company as well, was unable to come up with the money or didn't want to come up with the money to keep these people going. And to me, this is, or keep the people in the promotion, keep this thing going. And I think this is the problem that we run into sometimes. And WCW had this problem with TNT as well, with Turner. No matter how much some people may love wrestling, you have to understand how to run it, right? WWE, yeah, they did a deal with Peacock, but this has been Vince running this thing from day one. He is not, there's a board. Yeah, he eventually went public and all of that jazz, but he built this thing from the ground up with the help of his father and broke some rules and all that kind of shit, but he kept going and did it on his own. And when he went with another company, he made sure that he called the shots. And it seems to me like with WCW and here now with Ring of Honor, these people who sold it didn't retain the power to call the shots. And that can be a problem sometimes when you have people coming in who don't 100% live and breathe wrestling. Yes, there's something to be said for being outside of loving wrestling that gives you a clearer mind about, what to do business-wise. But also, if you don't have enough people inside who understand how to program these things, book these things, who their stars are that they need to retain, then in the end, you are going to go the way of the dodo. That's just how it works. If you can't retain these people and make money off these people, then you're not going to stay around for much longer, no matter how much you groom talent, unless you become, in essence, like what we see in the NBA, Aaron. We have the G League and the D League. Unless you make a deal with the WWE that you will be the developmental promotion, and they would have that. Well, they had that with NXT, and I feel like they still kind of have that now. But yeah, that's the way that you could have gone with Ring of Honor. So this rebranding stuff is cool for PR and all that kind of nonsense. But I agree with you. I don't think it means they're going to come back at all.
Yeah, it's very sad. And I think in 2018 that really set the tone, because they had, Cody and the Young Bucks and Omega. They had all these people, or they didn't have Omega, but they had these people at Hangman Page, and they were like, yeah, you guys can go do your own pay-per-view. That'll be fine. And with All In. Yeah, sure, we'll back you. No problem.
Right.
No, we're good. We don't need anything on the back end. Like, yeah, you guys just do your thing. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then what happens? There's a fucking mass exodus from Ring of Honor, and they go start their own promotion, and they've essentially sunk Ring of Honor. Like, they've sunk the whole thing, which really sucks. That's
right. Cody Rhodes being a part of Ring of Honor as well with the Young Bucks. You're right about that, Aaron. Yep.
Shit business. That's what a stupid decision. Like, even at the time, I was like, wow, that's really stupid for Ring of Honor. Like, I don't like that at all. I think somebody in the chat said that Ring of Honor's video library is going to be
Chris Taylor said that.
Yeah, Chris Taylor. Yeah, dude, it's going to be worth a lot of money, because you're going to have those old Bryan Danielson matches. You're going to have those CM Punk matches. Like, Tony Khan and Vince McMahon are probably going to be in a bidding war for that. Like, the thing about when WCW closed, and let's not pretend like ROH is at the level of WCW. It is not even close. But the thing that was so important to Vince when he acquired WCW was the video library.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's great that you get like the talent if you want, like whatever talent they had left, and the logos and the trademark and all that. But it was the video library.
Yeah.
So they could add it to the network. Could you imagine if the WWE network got all of Ring of Honor stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, God.
It would be great. But I'll go back to this article from Justin Barrasso, who says that and he's at Sports Illustrated, said the Ring of Honor tape library is also available and will go to the highest bidder. However, they have been trying to privately move this library apparently for more than a year.
Oh, okay.
And that includes the All In pay-per-view in September of 2018, which was the precursor to AEW. They own the footage, although AEW owns the trademark. And then SI says Sports Illustrated has learned that the company is asking for much more than the current market dictates. And Barrasso speculates that while it once seemed like WWE would be a major factor in pursuit of that tape library, it makes slightly less sense now, considering that so many former Ring of Honor stars have exited WWE. So yeah, I agree with all of you that the tape library is of value, but if they're overvaluing it to maybe cover costs or cover issues that they've had with business failures here with the company, then that's going to be something to then we're not going to see this thing being sold for quite some time if they're digging in their heels on selling it at a certain price to cover their financial downfalls or shortcomings, rather. And let me tell you something. I'm at one of my followers and one of my gentlemen who runs my Outlaw Nation Facebook page, Mike Shea. He works for a company that deals with Sinclair, his television station, and Sinclair Broadcasting had a tough situation here with some email issues and some hacking. And so there's a possibility that there's a financial issue there as well that's causing them to kind of be like, look, we can't keep running Ring of Honor at a loss. We got to get rid of this thing, even though it was kind of like it wasn't that much of a loss from what I was reading in the analytics. They didn't lose that much money running Ring of Honor, but they also didn't spend a lot of money to keep these people. And maybe that's why they weren't operating at too much of a loss. Now you bring in someone like something like WOW, that's not going to cost you a lot of money at all. So maybe that's the smarter move for them, to pay even less to try to promote this thing, be in business with Jeannie Buss, who's the owner of the Lakers. So there's a lot of possibilities for them going WOW over Ring of Honor. Plus, the advent of women's professional wrestling has blown up, or the scene has blown up over the last few years. And maybe they think there's possible money down the road if they invest in this at this low rate right now, if it blows up on that side of the ledger.
But you can also think about this, like Vince McMahon or WWE or AEW for that matter, and Tony Khan could buy this library and just do nothing with it. They could do that.
Very good point.
For just for example, the company that I work for, I'm not going to name them. They buy real estate. Like it's a storefront. It's a store, a chain of stores that they run. They buy real estate. So what they do is, if there's a competitor that goes out of business or something, they will buy that property and they will either do nothing with it and just leave it, or they will put a store there, or they will hold it and then wait for the land around it to get more expensive and more desirable, and then they will sell it. But they have like so much underdeveloped land, it's crazy. But it's like that's just something businesses do. They buy stuff to hold it. It's like a stock, man. Like you buy it to see it appreciate in value. Like what if like Bryan Danielson becomes a world champion, or CM Punk becomes AEW world champion? That footage is so much more valuable than it was.
True. Very true.
Just buy it and hold it, man.
Possibility as well. They could do that. And you wonder if maybe as a way, I mean, I don't know. And you wonder where these wrestlers are going to land. You know, Roxy, a lot of people talking about her 19-year-old prodigy who won the title for the women's division after a fantastic run here in a tournament with 14 other women. She is trained by Booker T. She's been doing these interviews saying how much she loved working with Booker T, how much he showed her the business, and how much she hopes, or she thinks, that the Ring of Honor people are going to land on their feet. But Aaron, we've had a glut of releases in 2021. We're not even done with the year yet. So that's another part of this thing you have to think about. Where are they going to go? Less promotions means less spots, less opportunity, and you have all these talented people. They go back onto the indie circuit, and that can affect financial situations. We could see a future Punk, Bryan Danielson, Roman Reigns give up and go off and just do something else because they can't financially handle working the indie circuit. That's another part of this that could be really sad in the long run.
Here's something that I fear. Like I saw an article by I don't think it was even a reputable thing. It might have just been a Twitter thread. But they were talking about how they feel that AEW, and I don't feel this way, but this is just how the article was. So the AEW's intention was to be this land of opportunity, right?
Yeah.
For these different wrestlers that you maybe feel didn't get a fair shake, like an Orange Cassidy or a Joey Janela. Like they're putting them on a national stage.
Right.
And then in doing that, they kind of cannibalize the competition. So now Ring of Honor and Impact and these places are going to suffer because now they're in AEW. And there's nowhere left for these other people to go. But AEW can't sign everybody.
Nope.
Because eventually they're going to have to cut costs. It's just, that's business. They have too many people that they're not using. And it's going to happen pretty soon that they're going to have to do that. And then WWE's not going to sign it. They got rid of like 100 people in the past 2 years. They're not going to sign all of these people.
Right.
And Impact does not have the financial stability to sign all of these people. So what happens then?
Yeah.
We go back to this cycle that we used to have. We're going to have indie promotions that keep popping up and these people that keep popping up. It's going to be a wasteland soon. And that sucks, man, because these people deserve more. Ring of Honor has a lot of good talent that will get swept up immediately that you will not have to worry about.
Yeah.
I don't think Jay Lethal's going to be without a job for very long, or Briscoes or guys like that. But there are some people you're going to have to worry about. Like, I don't know about Maria and Mike Bennett. I don't know if anyone's going to want to deal with their bullshit. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, this is yet another cautionary tale of just because you can sell to a company doesn't mean that you should. How much do you love it? How much do you think you can build it from the ground up? Can you make the financial decisions? It takes a lot of intelligence to be successful in a business like professional wrestling. Whatever your feelings are about Vince or even Bischoff for a while, it takes a lot of intelligence to figure out how to get this thing right, even for an extended period of time. So the fact that the fact that they stuck around for 19 years, shout out to Ring of Honor. But in the end, when you start to sell out to a company, there's a costs, there's a board members, there's all kinds of things you have to worry about that you may not have had the final say on. And in the end, that could end up screwing you down the road. Maybe not immediately, but certainly down the road. It looks like this is what we're seeing here with Ring of Honor, along with the COVID situation. But Aaron was right to start off this the story in a positive place, saying, hey, they paid people out even though they couldn't book any of the live shows. And you have to ask yourself, why was Vince able to do this with Raw and SmackDown and NXT? Not necessarily live shows, but certainly shows virtually. Why wasn't a Ring of Honor able to do the same thing? Was it an insurance situation? Was it all this kind of stuff? I don't know. Operating from the Schmodown, Christian didn't have live matches during that first year because of COVID, because the insurance obligations were way too high. So is that what happened here with Ring of Honor? Do they feel, look, we can't have any virtual matches or live stuff. We can't do too much of it because we're going to lose money in the long run. And Vince kept banging on that door until eventually he started having live events sooner than anybody else. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think look, dude, like WWE has a performance center, so they can build their TV right there. They're lucky enough to do that. AEW is lucky enough to have Daly's place because, Shad Khan owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have a place.
Right.
Ring of Honor probably could have had a place, but I mean, you got to pay rent.
Yeah.
You've got to pay people to work the lighting. You got to pay all these people to do this stuff. And it's like, do we do that? Like, do we have to do this cost every week or so to do this, to put out TV that's not even episodic? And we're not really on like we are broadcast, but it's only in syndication. It's not like live television. So what's the point? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's almost like they started running just spot shows, like just pay-per-views.
Yeah. And eventually you can't sustain your business in that way. But I do like the people say that Roxy will probably end up over at AEW or WWE. And we just, you were speculating earlier about Dr. Britt Baker. Roxy could be a nice person to slide in there with some pedigree, with already a title. Could be a very interesting person to sign to kind of build up the women's division. And maybe they find some women there over at Ring of Honor that they like and bring them over and kind of build up the women's division a little bit better than it is right now over there at AEW, man. I'm telling you, that's the one sore spot, in my opinion, when I look at that roster that just does not hit the mark. So, but all right, we wish the best to everybody there involved in Ring of Honor, and I'm sure we'll keep tabs on where they pop up and where they show up. And even Bronson Reed spoke about it, someone who came out of Ring of Honor as well, that he was just completely shocked. And apparently some of the top talent weren't even on the call when it was announced that they were being shut down there in March for a rebranding. So interesting business decisions for sure, man. All right, let's see. We've got a couple of Streamlabs that have come through here. Aaron, let's address them. Batbomb82 says, John, I know you tout about Bianca Belair all the time, but I think Jordynne Grace is far superior. Listen, you got to learn how to use your words correctly, okay? You're saying far superior, okay? Not superior, not better, far superior. That's important to remember. She's just as beautiful, stronger, and in my opinion, a much better wrestler. She's the true future of women's wrestling. Love the show. Be excellent to each other. Well, Batbomb, I appreciate your opinion. Aaron, I'll give you first crack at this one. Jordynne Grace, certainly a fantastic wrestler, an unusual look for a wrestler, and she's made it work, and she's successful. A lot of people love her on social media. She's a damn good wrestler and a champion. So do you think she's far superior to Bianca Belair?
In what way? Like that would be my first
question.
He
laid them out. He said she's beautiful, stronger, and a much better wrestler than Bianca Belair, which of course I 1000% disagree with, but I want to hear your point of view.
Both good looking for sure. I don't know. I'll give you that one. I don't know strength. I'm not sure. I'll just push on that one. But like in terms of pure like athleticism, no way, dude. Like Bianca Belair is like miles and miles above anybody. Mm-hmm. Like maybe Charlotte Flair, and I know people, Charlotte Flair, but like honestly, Bianca Belair is a collegiate athlete at like the highest level in the SEC. Charlotte Flair was a great volleyball player. Like these things matter. Like these, it takes strength in different places. It takes all this stuff to do these different things. Like Jordynne Grace, power lifter.
Yes,
as far as I know, she doesn't have like this athletic pedigree, and you don't necessarily have to have that, but to say that Jordynne Grace is far better than Bianca Belair, quite an understatement. Then again, I'm going to go back on myself and say, though I've watched Jordynne Grace in the ring and I haven't been impressed, I also haven't seen her as much as I've seen Bianca, so maybe it's not fair of me to grade her at the same level. Yeah, I mean, I think Jordynne Grace is good. But I don't walk away from Jordynne Grace feeling impressed. I walk away from Jordynne Grace going, good. This is a good female wrestler. But I don't walk away going, damn. I feel that way almost every time I watch Bianca, especially on the run she is now. Almost every match I've seen her in, I have a damn moment or a few damn moments actually that impress the hell out of me. So I can't 100% go with you. But that being said, I think Jordynne Grace is damn important for this business. It's incredible what she's doing. She's got a great following. Some people have come after her for her body weight or her look, and she has blown them out of the water. And that's what you need to do sometimes with these pro wrestling fans who want to devolve into Neanderthals. She puts them on their heels, and that's a good thing. And she's still young, ladies and gentlemen. So Jordynne Grace is building into her prime. Bianca is in her prime. Jordynne is building into her prime. So the future is bright for Jordynne Grace for sure. But at this point, I think Bianca's a bit better than her at this point. And we shall see if some point down the road in a promotion, these two go at it. It would be really fun to see for sure. So who knows? Who knows? Naomi is more athletic than Bianca. I don't know about that. I think Gramash, don't start this. You're wrong.
More athletic?
You're wrong. Naomi is athletic, though.
She is athletic. Hell yeah.
She's quite athletic. But Bianca's next level, dude. Like, it's you. Listen, like, I know it's wrong for me to maybe it's wrong for me to keep comparing this, but bro, she was at the top level in the SEC. Like, it's not. They don't let schlubs play in the SEC. Okay, you know who plays in the SEC? Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry plays in the SEC. A man. So yeah,
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
Zoe Stark over Jordynne Grace.
Probably.
All right, I might give you that.
I have been more impressed with Zoe Stark.
Yeah. That ladder match. I was watching that. That was a fantastic match that she was involved in. I hate that she didn't come away with the victory for the tag team titles, but it was great to see her be a part of it. All right. Where are we off to next month? Oh wait, sorry. I got a couple more that came through. Dale Varley said, went to Dynamite. Rampage match of the night was Bryan Danielson versus Kingston. Crowd was pro Kingston. There was a loud fuck him up, Eddie, fuck him up. That must have been during the PIP. Dynamite main event was a blast as well. All right. Aaron, any thoughts on that?
Sounds good, man. I'm glad you had a good time. I would be curious to know if the fan walkout that was rumored happened. There was like a rumor that like 2,000 fans left during the Britt Baker.
Thousands?
A couple thousand left during. But I also heard that it was because like the weather was shitty and people were just trying to get out of there. So I mean, that's very possible. So I'd like to know more about that, Dale. If you could pass that along. But sounds good.
Yeah, Dale. All right, Roberto Arsenal says, I've been to 2 Ring of Honor shows. I was lucky enough to see Kevin Steen versus El Generico in a ladder match. Owens was taking crazy ladder bumps since then. Serena D versus Hikaru Shida this Wednesday was a great match. Yeah, I like the Hikaru Shida match. That was good.
Yeah, Shida. It's funny because I feel like I give Shida like a lot of credit on this show, and then I was reading an article this week about her saying that she doesn't feel that her title run was as good as it could have been, and that she really felt like down on herself about it. And I was like, damn, like I thought you did a pretty good job. So Shida, keep your head up, girl. You're doing fine.
Exactly. And you'll get another chance. So if nothing else, speculate about that out loud. And then like that could get the fans excited to see what you'll do if you get the belt again. So that could be a lot of fun too. And yeah, Kevin, I think we've watched the Kevin Steen El Generico match.
Yep.
Didn't we? I thought we did a watch along for that one. That was awesome.
Sure did. Check it out in the archive.
Yeah, it is in the archive on the playlist here for you if you guys want to watch our commentary track as we watch that match together. And one more here from Henri Moon. It says, why do you think that today's wrestling can't find a star that pops like The Rock, Stone Cold, or Hogan did in their time? P.S. Thanks, guys, for getting me back into wrestling. Oh, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Aaron, do you agree with him that there's not a star that pops like The Rock, Stone Cold, or Hogan? Or
I think the last person that you had like that was John Cena. And I've said that many times because John Cena is, for better or worse, he is a guy that gets a reaction, whether it's good, bad, it doesn't matter. You still get that same kind of pop for John Cena. I think it's just a different world that we live in. Like there's different interests. Like my interests like used to be like, I only care about professional wrestling. Now it's like, well, there's football, there's UFC, there's movies, there's TV shows. I've leaned back into my horror fandom pretty hard, video games. Like there's a lot of shit going on in this world, man. I'm a homeowner, I'm an adult, I'm a husband, I'm a dog father. Like there's a lot going on. So I think it's just, you have to find somebody that really grasps your attention. And I just don't think that there's anybody that really captivates people. Like CM Punk, yes.
Right.
But no at the same time. So I don't know what it is. I think that wrestling's just not as popular as it used to be. I get that. It's made a comeback to an extent.
Right.
And I think they're shooting for different demographics. Like the WWE shoots for that younger audience.
Right.
The kids and stuff. AEW does not shoot for that same audience. So it's kind of an oxymoron back and forth like kind of deal. So it's, I don't know. It's hard.
Well, I think you're right to talk about the outside X factors and the timing, right? When Hogan did it, there was 3 channels plus HBO that were available, right? And you could see Georgia Championship Wrestling or NWA or WCW on TBS, right? Vince was doing shit on NBC. Vince was doing WrestleMania. It's a different approach. So Hogan was massive because of that. He was on TV shows. He was on movies. So there was a different situation, right? Versus WCW, which didn't have as much exposure on the mainstream network. So Hogan's naturally going to get a massive pop. Look, I think Hogan would have gotten pop in any decade. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I'm just saying there's a different situation there. Then you go to the Attitude Era. That's WCW versus WWE, and no one else was remotely in contention. Yeah, ECW was around and people loved ECW, but it wasn't a big amount of people that loved ECW, or else they wouldn't have gone under. Those two were the only two that were going at it, and they were reflecting the society, the pop culture of society that was rejecting all the shit from the past. They were the rebels, and people gravitated that and loved that because we were rebelling as a society in the 90s. Gangster rap, all kinds of shit was going on in the 90s where things were changing. So that's why they were so huge, and their personalities. I'm not going to deny that. But nowadays, like as Aaron said, maybe it's less popular. And ironically, we have way more promotions that are getting access to TV, to media, to all kinds of stuff that they're getting out there to get seen. So it's naturally going to dilute. It's just going to dilute the water a little bit. So you're not going to get that one person that stands out and blows up. You know, it isn't. Reigns is arguably the greatest right now working in any promotion in terms of response from the fans. And I would argue he has never gotten a rock pop. Never. Even though he is huge, he's never gotten the rock pop. Even Punk coming back, which was incredible. Every single time he's come out, it's been way less in terms of the response from the fans. So it's just timing. And yeah, big personalities, you just don't have them, but it's also just like the era that we're in, you know, and young people aren't as into it as they were before. And that's why you see a lot of companies that are desperate to try to get to that young market. I've got a friend who's working on an animated series with the WWE to try to make it happen. And the WWE kind of walked away from it. But they wanted to do an animated series that appealed to kids that were 10 years old. So they're trying to get them young. It's just, I don't know if they see any money in it, you know?
I kind of like when stuff like this pops up, I look at like what my nephew's into. Like he's almost 9 years old. I'm like, what is he into? You know what he likes? Trains. I tried to show him wrestling. He didn't care. Yeah. I tried to show him like Ninja Turtles. He's like, I don't really care. You know what he really likes? Muppets Haunted Mansion. He really likes that. So
under wraps. That's what
he's a big fan of that. So I don't know, man. I think it gets less and less. I think one day, I don't know when, but maybe like sometime next year, I'm gonna film a video for this show.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna go to like downtown Orlando, somewhere populated, or maybe outside of a wrestling show or something. I'm gonna take like 10 pictures of wrestlers, or maybe not a wrestling show, but not a wrestling show at all.
Right.
Just go downtown where there's a lot of people and just be like, hold up a picture of like Roman Reigns. Like, can you tell me who this is?
Yeah.
And then just see like what the response is. Like, what is like, here's a picture of The Rock. Everybody knows The Rock. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. So I want to see what that reaction is.
I hear you. I wanted to shoot. Dale Varley responded back to us, said, weather wasn't bad. Lots of fans without power in the area. Going back to his Streamlab earlier about being at AEW. Said the exodus was really after Danielson-Kingston match. People did hit the concessions after Dynamite, but came back for the star of Rampage. And Justin Toner chimed in. Remember, he tried to send in a video a couple weeks ago. He says, when I was at the Dynamite Rampage in Rochester last month, a good chunk of fans left after the Bryan Danielson, Nick Jackson opening match for Rampage. Shows how much Bryan draws. So that's troubling, Aaron, because yes, they've paid the ticket, but if you're coming out to a way less populated arena or stadium, that can look bad on TV. And I don't recall, I've been to a number of WWE house shows. I don't recall people leaving in mass after any match except the last one.
Well, I'm going to defend it, and here's how I'm going to do it. Those tapings are long as hell. So you've got
like
dark
6 hours.
Yeah, you got dark, you got Dynamite, then you got Rampage filming. Like, dude, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's long as hell. So I don't blame you for leaving. Like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow. So I get that.
That's true. It's on the weekday where they usually record this. You're right about that. Yeah. Christian Ramos sent in one Streamlab and says, hey guys, I was at AEW Dynamite Rampage Dark Elevation in Boston, and the fan walkout was way over exaggerated, but at the same time, I think I remember the Danielson versus Kingston match ending a little after 11 p.m. Boston time with weather and traffic, which is basura this time of year, which is trash for you non-Spanish speakers. So that piggybacks on what Aaron just said. Exactly. The fact that these things go for a long amount that's essentially a mini WrestleMania. If you do a 6-hour fucking night of wrestling, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of time, man.
Yeah, worth noting they announced this week that WrestleMania is going to be 2 days again. So
no surprise.
Is it in Dallas? It's in Dallas again.
In Dallas.
So,
right.
Yeah, 2 days in Dallas. So that'll be.
We can get some press credentials to get to go to that.
I'm not going to Texas for nothing.
There you go. Well, you're not going to get pregnant. All right, 65 of you all are watching right now. Please hit that like button. And if you're watching later, hit that like button and leave a comment and share this on your social media so you can let other pro wrestling fans know that Strong Style still going strong here on Saturdays live at 12 p.m. PT on the Outlaw Nation channel. Keep sending in your Streamlabs and your Super Chats. For those of you who just came in, the Streamlabs address right above Aaron's head. It's pinned in the chat, and it's in the description of this video. Aaron, where shall we go next, my brother?
We're going to Halloween Havoc, which was this past Wednesday. I didn't get to go. I didn't get picked from the ticket lottery to go. So
That's
screw
crazy.
off NXT.
As much as you love it.
I know. So we'll just start from the top. We'll go through the winners and losers, and we'll talk about the great parts of it. We had Gigi Dolan and JC Jane of Toxic Attraction defeat Io Shirai, Zoe Stark, and Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta to win the NXT Women's Tag Team titles in that ladder match. So it was a good one. Good job there from Toxic Attraction. Joe Gacy defeated Malik Blade. Okay, moving on. Roderick Strong defeated Odyssey Jones in an open challenge. Then we had Dakota Kai assist Mandy Rose in defeating Raquel Gonzalez to win her first singles championship. We had Imperium defeat MSK to win the NXT Tag Team Championships. And Tommaso Ciampa defeated the young upstart Braun Breaker. I will only refer to him as Rex Steiner from now on to retain the NXT Championship when everybody in the building thought that Rex Steiner was going to win this match. John, what do you think of Halloween Havoc?
I thought it was a decent night of wrestling. I didn't think it was with a couple of spikes. That's what I would say, with a couple of spikes. Certainly that ladder match was fantastic between all those ladies. I was surprised at how well that turned out. I thought it was going to be a little bit boring, a little bit not quite on point, but it worked out. And Io Shirai, someone check on Io Shirai. Even today,
she's fine, man. She's fine.
I don't know, man. That looked horrific. I mean, that looked bad, and not in a way that like she was bad. I mean, that looked scary. So it was an incredible bump that she took. Zoe showed up and showed out, was great. And I guess them winning was a little bit of a maybe tease that Mandy Rose was also going to pull the victory out over Raquel Gonzalez. So interesting to see that match. I liked the Mandy Rose for the most part. I liked it, but there were a couple of spots where I'm like, yep, this is still a pretty face trying to wrestle, and it can be kind of frustrating for me sometimes when I see that because there are plenty of pretty ladies who've wrestled who can take the bumps and don't put their hands 5 feet out in front of their face before they take a chair hit and never even remotely come close to the chair that they're hitting with their face. And it frustrates the shit out of me. But you know what? They want to give her a run. So be it. The Ciampa situation was weird for me because this is a young kid. You're already putting him in this situation, and then you're already having him break through 3 finishers from Ciampa before he finally succumbs. Aaron, for me, that was a little bit like, well, what are we doing here? Are we building him up already to be in this position? What was wrong with the slow build with Braun Breaker? Why is he giving Ciampa all he can handle already in a match like this? So a lot of surprising decisions here, some of the matches, but overall, a decent night, not a great night of pro wrestling. What did you think?
I'm going to agree with you on the not a great night. I'll agree with you there. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to contradict myself. Halloween. Listen, I get that it's Halloween Havoc. I get it.
Yeah,
I didn't need Carmelo Hayes and his buddy like going through the haunted house with Dexter Lumis.
Oh god, yeah, that was dumb.
Fucking dumb.
All those sketches were dumb. The backstage one,
so dumb.
In the green room, dumb.
So dumb.
Yeah,
I don't want to see wrestler. I get that it's Halloween. I don't want to see wrestlers in Halloween costumes doing silly shit. I don't care. However, it's like putting a hat on a hat because like you're already a character, so it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Tommaso Ciampa is Kratos, fitting, works. God of War, he kind of looks like Kratos in the latest God of War. It works fine because he didn't change anything.
Right.
So he just wore some paint. It's fine. The tag team match, the women's tag team match, kind of went how I expected. These titles mean nothing. Still mean nothing to me.
Right.
I saw someone in the chat bring up about Izzy's parents and MSK. Who brought that up? Murder Anta brought up that Izzy and her parents have apparently been banned from NXT shows due to the bullshit towards MSK. I want to talk about that for a second.
Wow.
To the people that may not know. So
break it down, man. Yeah.
Allegedly, or maybe unallegedly, there was a thing a couple of years ago where Izzy, if you don't know who Izzy is, she was Bailey's like super fan. They did the storyline with her and Sasha Banks and all that kind of stuff. She's grown up now. She's like a teenager. and she's been training to wrestle, and she does like little media stuff here and there. And there was this video that came out of her taking like a bump, like a choke slam from somebody. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And it like got this big like hubbub, like how could she be doing that? She's so young and all this kind of, it's whatever. Right. But apparently one of the people that came out against it was Desmond Xavier of MSK, or Wesley, or whatever his name is in NXT. Came out against it and said like, hey, she shouldn't be doing that and stuff like that. And apparently her parents like took offense to that, and like they've just crapped on him ever since. So anytime like MSK comes out, like so I've been to these shows. I know I've seen Izzy and her parents. I've seen like her friend, like their parents' friends or family or whatever. They're annoying as fuck. Okay. They're annoying as hell. And they get chants started because people like kind of know who they are in the area, and they'll get people together to do stuff. So they'll boo MSK, who doesn't need to be booed because they're great and they do cool shit. And it's annoying as hell. And if they're banned, I'm glad, because they're annoying. And that kind of crap doesn't need to happen because they didn't do anything wrong and they're trying to get themselves over. So just get the hell out of here. So I'm fine with it. Goodbye.
Well, a little more information on this. According to the Reddit post, superfan Izzy and her parents, Cody and Jenny Selagi, I hope that's how you say it, have been leading the boos and sabotaging MSK. Dave Meltzer said, I got a couple of versions of the story, but the version going around is basically correct. I think the short version of it, rather than go into big details that people say in line, is that there are people there, including the parents of Izzy, who were mad because in 2018, Zachary Wentz, before he was Nash Carter, when he was indie wrestler, others.
Okay, it wasn't Desmond Xavier. It was it's the other guy. Sorry.
And others, including Lance, if you believe Meltzer, right? Others, including Lance Storm and Chelsea Green, made comments that were negative about Izzy taking a chokeslam at an indie show when she was 13. So Carter shows up at NXT and her parents start the crowd to go against him, and they got a lot of friends and everyone knows everyone. There's like 200 people there, and they're pretty much all invited. And it's the same people every week. It's enough of those people that they're booing them. They're going to boo MSK. That's their deal. So that's basically the basic story and why. It's not like it's some organic thing. It was enough people that they can make it boo because it's such a small building. So yeah, and Chelsea Green chimed in. No fan of the show here. Chelsea Green, she said,
not at all.
She said, I don't agree with Izzy taking bumps, let alone being choke slammed. It's unfortunate that others felt differently. It's also unfortunate her first match wasn't at the school she's trained at, where she is protected, but we live and we learn. I hope promoters take note. That's what she said in 2018. And in 2021, when she was, and this is just a few days ago, when she was tweeted at about whether a group of fans tried to sabotage her when she was in NXT. She said, laugh out loud. Yes, it did actually. Numerous times it sucked. So clearly they heard about it. They knew about it. They know about it. And if they've banned her, then so be it. And Izzy, who goes under It's Izzy Mania on Twitter, posts videos of herself and being positive and negative about what's going on. So yeah, she has grown up and she has certainly made a thing out of it. But Aaron, I know we ain't done with this story. I know at some point down the road, she's actually going to end up in NXT or WWE or even WoW and make a thing out of it. You know it's coming. So,
well, let me just be clear. I don't have any problem with Izzy because she's a child. She's a child.
She's a child.
I don't have any heat with a child. The parents are the problem with me, and not even really her mom. It's her dad that's annoying. But
she's 14. Like, sorry, 14.
Yeah,
sorry,
she's a child.
Sorry, murder rot.
Yeah. So it's who says okay, parents are annoying, but is Izzy herself that's the same? No, she's a child.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's the contingent of people. And I think Roberto Arsenal said like it's a wrestling show, you can boo and all that kind of stuff if you want to. Absolutely, you can.
Oh, yeah.
However, when you get a lynch mob together to boo a contingent of a star just because you don't like something they said about you, that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's personal.
That's it makes it personal. That's an issue. Yeah, right. If it's an organic boo because you don't like something they're doing or you want to chant like you fucked up, totally fine.
Right.
But you can't like that's wrong. Like, you can't do that. And the fact that they did that, it doesn't surprise me. One of the other people that they used to come with a lot was a Dave Meltzer informant. He's also banned.
Oh.
So it doesn't surprise me that they're getting rid of these people.
Right.
And yes, it is pretty much the same people every week that go to these NXT shows. You see the same people.
Yeah.
The same guy that I used to go with saves me a seat every time. Sometimes we don't even talk to each other. We just sit beside each other. We save each other a seat. So it's just whatever. But
yeah.
Okay, I want to get back to Halloween Havoc. Fuck that.
Sure.
Mandy Rose defeats Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, the match was not good.
It was. Thank you, Aaron. I was afraid you were going to say it was a good match. So thank you.
I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Okay, like I don't have.
You got your biases though.
I don't have rose-colored glasses over things. Like she's okay. A beautiful woman.
Yes,
she's
undoubtedly
stunning. Anyway, so like I was watching the match, and I'm just like, man, these two are not gelling at all. Like Mandy brought out the kendo stick and she was beating on Raquel and like hit her in the leg, and then she like dropped the kendo stick and was like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
And then she went and just picked it back up, and I was like, this doesn't work. And then they did the thing where Raquel had the Jason mask on and sprayed her with the fire extinguisher. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And then finally we just got to the end where Dakota Kai showed up, hit her with a shovel, and Mandy won, which protects Raquel because it's nefarious and yada yada. So it's fine. I felt like Mandy deserved a title run. I don't know if it was at Raquel's expense, but we got the thing with Dakota Kai, so that works. And I think with what they're trying to do in NXT now with Mandy, it works. And I think her as champion works. She's been cutting good promos. She's really revamped her character.
No doubt.
Wrestling aside, I think she's done a really good job of trying to break away from that just a pretty face. Like, of course, you can't really get away from that because, I mean, look at her, fellas and ladies. Like, it's hard. It's hard to break that stereotype, but I feel like she's trying her best to do that. And I thought this was a good show of it.
But it can be done. Trish Stratus did it, for God's sakes. So, I mean, it can be done. There are a number of, I mean, Lita's beautiful, and Lita's a badass wrestler. So that's not a negative to be beautiful. It's not a negative in this business. What was it? The beautiful people, right? It was not a negative. Velvet Sky, I thought was good wrestler, beautiful woman as well. It can be done. Now, promos aside, Aaron, I know, but it can be done here, and it's done. It's been done in numerous promotions. I'm sure there are a lot of people. Sasha Banks, gorgeous. What an incredible wrestler as well. Becky Lynch, beautiful. It all works. So it's not impossible for it to happen. The problem I think with Mandy is I don't think Mandy's going to get there as a natural wrestler. I just don't. She's had all this training, all these years. And it doesn't really. I mean, Carmella is a far better wrestler than Mandy Rose. Also a pretty face. Also great on the mic. Can play heel or face. So it just to me, in the end, Mandy is limited physically by just her natural ability of what she's able to do. There's only so far you can go, right? And I wonder if in the end she's going to go as far as she needs to go to be able to make this work. That being said, her character change, her promos, her run in that mini version of what was it before with the
Absolution?
Mini version of Absolution. It works on NXT, and she deserves to have a run to see what she can do with it. She has earned it. She's fought hard. She's played the game. She's switched characters. She's done everything that's been actor. She went down NXT, and she's done incredible. So she deserves a run. I just felt like the ending was so fucking anticlimactic. She didn't even look like she was emotional about winning. And there's a piece of her that's been waiting to win a title. And now that she won a title, she couldn't even manufacture genuine emotion about winning the title. You can still be a heel and show genuine emotion about winning the title and for the first time. And she didn't do that. And I wonder, because it was a lackluster match. And I wonder if that might have played into the reaction overall that she had her first title. Like, fucking celebrate,
She don't cry. She's a heel. She's a heel.
Kurt Angle was a heel. He cried his nuts off when he won that title.
Kurt Angle's an asshole heel, though, so it made sense. He thought he was better than everybody.
She's not an asshole heel? What the fuck are you talking about?
Kurt Angle thought he was better than everybody. That's why
he
cried.
Mandy.
He's like, oh, look how great I am.
What is happening here? Have you heard her promos? That's literally the context of her promos is that she's better than everybody else and she's owed. So what are you talking about?
You calling Mandy Rose an asshole?
Yes, the character, not the person. There it is. He's storming off. He's gonna tweet it, man. Are you gonna tweet it, Mandy? Don't tell her I said that. All right, let's move. Any other match you want to talk about? Did you like the Braun Breaker stuff? Did you not like the Braun Breaker stuff? I mean,
here's the deal, man.
Yeah.
I don't think Tommaso Ciampa is long for this NXT. His age, his injury history, and I just don't think he's long for it. So I'm not sure why they went with this. Why they kept it on Ciampa? Maybe they saw something in Rex Steiner that just wasn't quite there. Maybe they'll get it to him a little bit later. I don't know. But yeah, I think Ciampa's like maybe got till the end of the year. He's leaving NXT.
Okay.
But something real quick I want to mention is Chucky and the Chucky and Rex Steiner stuff where he's like, "Hey, you look familiar." Like, reference to shitty WCW, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Murderanza says Ciampa's 36. He might as well be a fucking 100 in wrestling years, especially with his injury history. So
that's true.
But one thing I didn't want to mention, my Mandy Rose action figure, I had to add a accessory to her this week. So now she's got.
Why haven't you painted her hair brown?
I don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I wait for Mattel to do these things. I even tweeted at Mattel that we need a new figure, and they liked it. So there you go.
Fair enough. Mandy, Aaron World Order, the AWO says Mandy does not do well in big matches. There you go.
She does well in big Instagram posts.
Yeah, true. No doubt. As I said, Patrick Bell saying, nah, she didn't have to celebrate. She had to celebrate. Of course she has to celebrate. She won the title for the first time. For God's sakes. I mean,
celebrate next week.
All right, sure. Let's see. She's not an asshole heel, says Roberto Arsenal. Maybe go back and rewatch those promos, Roberto.
Thank you, Roberto.
Please. And he also wants to change that breaker name for sure. But I tell you this, I like the Chucky thing. It worked. It doesn't make me want to watch the TV series.
Oh, it's fucking great, dude.
Do you like it? Okay,
it's great.
I'm burned from that remake, which was fucking horrific.
No, it's no.
Okay, all right.
This is like Chucky 1, Chucky 2. Skip the rest and then get to the TV series. Like it's. Brad Dourif is on next level in this fucking show. It's incredible.
He's the voice of Chucky on the show?
Yes, he is.
Again, he's back?
Yes, he is.
All right, fine. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it.
I think you should give it a chance. Like it's
all right.
Devin Sawa, dude. Devin Sawa.
Pretty faces are a dime a dozen in Hollywood, brother.
Yeah, Devin Sawa. Fuck.
I gotta see talent. All right, let's see what we got here. Roberto Arsenal said, I've been to 3 AEW shows. I always leave before the last match of the night begins. Learned my lesson the hard way. Took me 2 hours to leave the parking lot because only one lane was open in the parking garage. Unless it's a pay-per-view, I won't stay to see the main event.
I'm ready to give you a word of advice. When you go to wrestling shows or any big event, you never park in the parking garage. Never. Here's my strategy. When I go to like a WWE event or a Orlando Magic game at the Amway Center, I take
ever go to one of those, but go ahead.
You get free tickets where I work. Anyway, you take an Uber to the arena. It's not that expensive to take one there. However, when you leave, they can get expensive because a lot of people are doing a mass exodus. What you do is you walk about 4 blocks, then you hail the Uber. And it's much cheaper because you're in a different part of town.
Is it a safer part of town to walk away?
You're in the financial district. It's a safe part of town. So, try that next time.
All right. AZ Badfish wants to know, does he need to watch the movies to watch the show?
At least the first 2.
Okay. All right.
At least the first 2. Because like there's characters from everybody, like that whole first universe, like the one with Mark Hamill that came out like a few years ago. It's not a part of it. So
right.
Just the first 2 is good.
Wasn't Shawn a heel or was Bret a heel when he won the title at WrestleMania?
What are you talking about?
When Shawn Michaels didn't he beat Bret Hart for the title or was it Diesel?
Yeah.
Who did he beat? Yeah.
WrestleMania 12.
They
were both faces.
Okay. All right. Fine. Patrick Bell's on your corner. He says she celebrated on Twitter and IG. What? Heels just don't have to over celebrate. Just hold up the title. That's ridiculous.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous. All right. Anyway, a senior nurse said they did a Chucky Rick Steiner reference, but won't acknowledge Breaker as a Steiner. Did they? What did they say? The dog face gremlin? Is that what they said? What did they say?
Puppy face gremlin. and he has fucking bite me on his boots.
Totally forgot. He does say bite me on his boots, for God's sakes.
Yeah, man. And yeah, hold on. Senor Nerd also said, I saw a clip where Chucky talks about his kid. That is the best part of the entire show because the main character, I don't know why we're talking about this, but the main character in the Chucky TV show is a kid named Jake. He's gay. And he's talking to Chucky about it.
Yeah.
And he says, he's like, I'm gay. And Chucky's like, I got a gay kid too, man. And Jake's like, really? He's like, you don't have a problem with that? He goes, no, man, I got a gay kid. Gender fluid.
That's cool.
And he's like, you don't have a problem with it being gay? He's like, Jake, I'm not a monster. And it's the fucking best thing ever because it's like, okay, all right. It's good.
All right.
It's good.
I think I might find that clip and retweet it. I like that.
It's fucking funny as hell.
Chris Taylor saying Bischoff recently said that WCW's Halloween Havoc was their quote WrestleMania. Agree or disagree?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Like, I think in theory it should have been Starrcade. I think back in the day it was Starrcade, but as like WCW moved in that modern era, like from 96, 97, 98, and so on, Halloween Havoc was their go-to show. That's where they had their biggest matches. 100%.
Okay. Fair enough. Zeno Hour says Izzy is training with Tessa Blanchard. Oof.
Yeah, they're good friends too. So it's
wow. All right. Hey, man. Different strokes for different folks. B Skywalker says, what did you think of Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson last night? I thought it was fucking excellent.
I think it's hard sometimes to get a good match out of Eddie Kingston because I don't think he's that good in the ring. I think he's like excellent on the mic, but I think he's just average in the ring. So I think showing a guy like Bryan Danielson or getting there with a guy like Bryan Danielson who he can cut good promos against. Eddie's promos against Danielson were amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. I liked it for what it was.
All right, let's see. We got another from B Skywalker saying thoughts on Pac versus Idolo 2 last week.
Very, very good. I don't know what they're doing with Andrade and Malachi Black. I don't fucking understand why they're aligned with each other. Why is Malachi Black aligned with anybody? I don't get it. But you know, Pac is Pac. He's great.
Yeah. I thought the match was fantastic. Brutal where it needed to be brutal. I thought it flowed really, really well. And Andrade, once again, one of these guys that is one of the greatest working today, yet because he can't get over that English situation, he can't get as big as he needs to be, as he should be, for fuck's sake. It's ridiculous. It's so frustrating, man, because he is so great in the ring. From NXT to the main roster to now at AEW, he delivers stellar matches when he's wrestling with wrestlers who are at his level, man. And this match with Idolo was so much fun to watch. With Pac was so much fun to watch for sure. Yeah, did you want to say one more thing? Sorry.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Let's see. Brad Bond says, I got my tickets to AEW Rampage this Friday and the Royal Rumble in January. Awesome. Can St. Louis finally get a WrestleMania here? One of the meccas of wrestling history has been denied for far too long. Aaron?
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's I was thinking, oh, that's Harley Race territory. That's Kansas City. Yeah, man. Like, I understand that. I feel the same way as to like, why can't there be a WrestleMania in Chicago again? And why can't there be one? Why does it have to be I think it has to do with, and I don't know the St. Louis area. I don't know Missouri, but it's like they want to put in these places. They have international airports, like big international hubs. So you've got like, it's in LA because they have LAX, or it's in Orlando because they have MCO. It's in Texas because they have whatever they have over there. So, and it just seems to me like they want to put it in those places. So if Missouri or St. Louis is easy to get to, then eventually I think they will. But they want it in these big cities. And while St. Louis is a big city, it's not like as big. I don't think it is in biggest population as Orlando or Dallas or LA. Yeah. So
it could also be that, you know, these are bids. And it could also be that St. Louis can't bid at the level that LA or even Madison Square Garden or Dallas can bid for WrestleMania. It may be that as well, which is why you're getting Royal Rumble, because they respect that wrestling history in St. Louis, but y'all can't bid at the level that they need someone to bid at to host a WrestleMania. And I think what Aaron points out is absolutely valid as well. The idea of being a main hub in terms of flying into it for sure. So that's probably your answer there, Brad Bond. So I'm sorry in that situation.
Also, as a comparison, okay, I just looked up the population counts.
Yeah.
St. Louis has a population of 294,890. as of 2021 population report.
Right.
Orlando, 2.2 million.
Wow.
Dallas, 1.3 million. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of tells the tale of what's going on there. So,
yeah, it's fair. If you're show me state, you got to show them the money. That's what I'm saying.
Show me 7, I'll show you 8, is the great Nelly once said.
That's right. Hill Nellums, what's up, Hill? Good to see you,
man.
brother.
Welcome back.
Says, happy Saturday, guys. Random question. If you could choose one jobber from the past or present to win a major title for a couple of months as a transition champ, who would it be or have been? I would have loved to see Iron Mike Sharp heal it up as WWF champion. Great fucking question, Hill. What would you say there? And I put this out to the chat as well. I love you guys are so hopping in the chat all the time. What jobber, either current or past, would you like to see or have seen win a major title in their promotion? And probably mostly WWE or WWF, because that's where you really saw all the jobbers and got to know them.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the obvious pick, and it's Barry Horowitz. And I think I would take Barry. Like, I can imagine, imagine, if you will, 1994, Barry Horowitz versus Shawn Michaels on Monday Night Raw for the Intercontinental Championship. Shawn Michaels gets distracted by Marty Jannetty. Barry Horowitz with the roll up. 1, 2, 3. Barry Horowitz is your Intercontinental Champion. It's fucking great. Fucking great.
First of all, Dwayne Gilbert should have totally won the 24/7 title. Let's just put that out there.
He was the cruiserweight champion. What the heck? Or the lightweight champion.
The lightweight champion.
I don't remember.
What about SD Jones? I remember those. For those of you who remember SD Jones, Jones could have been interesting. But I'll tell you, it's my number one choice is the Brooklyn Brawler. I mean, that guy as the IC champion would be incredible just for a couple of months. Just like Zack Ryder had it for a couple of months. Would have been nice. I would have loved to have seen Brooklyn Brawler do the thing. And he's a great interview. If you ever watch any interviews with Brooklyn Brawler, that guy is not short on opinions and he's very funny. So and he's got a good idea of the business and a very good perspective on the business. To have seen him be an IC champ would have been fantastic. How about Brawler and Horowitz as tag team champions? Put it in the pipeline. I would have loved to have seen that.
I would have liked to have seen Roadblock in WCW. I don't know. I'm just naming random people. Hard Work Bobby Walker as your WCW World Champion.
Bobby Walker. Yes, I love this. These are great. Now, I don't know some of the I don't remember the Italian Stallion.
About old Sal Sincere getting there. Or the Goon. The Goon.
The Goon. I remember the Goon. Fuck
Duke
yeah,
the Dumpster Drosy. Mantar.
Mantar. Mantar. Ridiculous, man.
Giant Gonzalez.
Didn't he almost win a title? I thought he almost did it.
He did not. Okay. Mike Enos. Shout out to Mike
Enos. Yeah.
Kenny Chaos. Lash LaRue. I believe he was a cruiserweight.
Lash LaRue. I remember Lash LaRue. Holy shit.
The great Lash LaRue.
They don't have jobbers anymore, man. I mean, they have people who lose, but they don't have jobbers anymore. It's a shame.
They should. I fully believe they should bring that back.
Yeah.
Horace Hogan.
Horace Hogan. That's right. Fucking member of NWO. Ridiculous.
That's when you knew it was over. The Zodiac. The Yeti.
Who was the Repo Man? The Repo Man is IC champ. Would have been something funny, man.
That's right.
Zack Ryder
All those gimmicks are horrible. Isaac Yankem. Whatever happened to that guy?
Well, Nails, and I know we're going to talk about the Dark Side of the Ring thing. Nails, come on, he could have been something.
Yeah, Nails. Yeah.
Now Roberto Arsenault coming in with some hardcore. He says, so with that being said, Funk's thing. Hey, come on now, Roberto, what's that all about? Come on, live and let live. Come on, your fucking crap ass English Premier League team is up there finally. Now you should be happy, not negative. For God's
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, then don't tweet about it, you son of a bitch.
My team's in the World Series, bitches.
Which team is that?
It's not the fucking Astros. I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. We got to Streamlab one more here before we move on to our next subject. King Nirvana, and thank you, Hill, again for that.
Good
really
to see
sweet.
You, brother.
Yeah, obviously, always great to see you, brother. King Nirvana 24 says, "Did you see the CM Punk Kingston interaction? And also, please see this interview about Moxley, Kingston, and Bryan. Here's a Reddit link." All right, we can't play the interview. Obviously, we don't want to get strike on the show, but I can send this to Aaron and so what have you. But yeah, did you see the CM Punk Kingston interaction? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I'm going to put a pin in this because I want to talk about CM Punk later when we talk about Dynamite. But
okay.
Yeah, I saw it. Like I said, Eddie Kingston is Dynamite on the mic. He's fantastic.
He is Dynamite.
So anytime I can see him and CM Punk, that war of words, it signed me up for that.
Right. Okay, there you go. That's all the Streamlabs Super Chats for now. Please keep sending them in as we go along here. We're entering into our the backstretch of the show for sure. We've got 85 of you watching right now. Please make sure you hit that like button. And if you're watching later after we do it live, a lot of you do, please leave a comment down below. Comments and likes are really important. And then share it on your social media as well. And hey, you can always send a question in on Streamlabs anytime. You don't have to do it just during the show. And Aaron and I can save it and answer it on the next show for sure. So throughout the week, if you got pro wrestling thoughts, pro wrestling ideas, send in a Streamlab and I'll make sure to save it and answer it on the show with me and Aaron. All right, Aaron, we said Haskell, we led with Iron Mark Sharp, but I don't remember Rene Goulet. That's right, as Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right.
Rene Goulet. That's right.
Skinner.
We got to stop. Where are we on? Where are we going to, man? Next.
All right, so we're talking about the season finale of Dark Side of the Ring, season number 3, and that is the story of the 90s steroid trials with Vincent Kennedy McMahon of the WWE on trial.
Yeah.
So John, like we talked about last week, we talked about XPW, and I thought it sucked. You thought it was great. So what did you think of this episode?
This is an interesting one for me because I think this was the wrong idea now in retrospect. Initially, I was excited about watching this episode, but Aaron, this is like reading the cliff notes of a major novel. And you're like, yeah, you get an idea of what happened, but the real joy you're going to get or real understanding you're going to get is by doing a massive documentary on this, a massive exploration of all these people. The fact that you couldn't even get the rival attorney to be on the record and be interviewed for this sucks. Having Vince's attorney twisting and manipulating everything to make him look like the greatest lawyer that ever walked the earth, and Vince, the most put upon victim that ever walked the earth, I think was a complete and utter waste. And him basically revealing, kind of doing a dance on the grave here by talking about Vince ripping off the neck brace and swinging it around. That's a revealing of how insidious these two motherfuckers are and how they approach the world, in that it's about winning at any cost, no matter what. And the way that lawyer presented all the stuff that was put about this, 44 days or whatever, or it totally dismissing these writers who had people follow them, which is totally not out of the realm of possibility with Vince in the 90s for sure. So have all this kind of stuff. It just felt like you were getting mostly one side of the issue and the other side wasn't really represented as powerfully as it could have been. So it was a fun episode for maybe if you didn't know about this story, you got a good broad brushstrokes of what happened here, but there's a lot more that happened here and a lot more that should have been stressed. And the fact they couldn't get Hogan to talk about it, they couldn't get the opposing attorney, they couldn't get a lot of the people who were actually on the stand, I thought was a bit of a letdown. But there were some insidious shit that went on behind the scenes, and clearly it feels like that assistant was leaned on and trained to say certain things. So Vince got away with it is what I came away with this. In no way do I think he won or was exonerated. He knew steroids was going on. He totally took advantage of it and then played total innocent dummy when it was convenient and wore a neck brace like a shameless head of a mafia clan walking into a court case with like an air machine or whatever it is. So a respirator rather. So to me, all around, it just reinforced how much of a shameless guy he is and how low he'll stoop to win. And that whole sequence of the lawyer trying to manufacture tears talking about Stephanie when she ran out of the courtroom was maybe one of the jokes of the whole episode. So what did you think?
There's this people that really know like WWF, the WWF and its past know Jerry McDevitt.
Yeah.
And the thing, like Jerry McDevitt has like this myth around him. That he's like this fucking corporate shark. Like you can't beat Jerry McDevitt. And I'd never like seen an interview with him. Like I've heard like audio stuff with him, but I was like, this dude thinks he's on Law and Order or something. Like, I don't know what he's doing here, but like he just He's like, yeah, we're going to go in there and we're going to crush the federal government. I'm
you
like,
just wait till I get to say what I do.
Yeah, it's like, what? I think someone else in the chat said like it was, Aaron World Order, not my shell account, but a different guy. Said it was boring. I agree. Yeah. And I agree with you that it was like broad strokes. I mean, we are getting a scripted television series, right?
Fuck that.
Right?
That's going to be horrific.
Can't wait for the truth.
No, thanks.
Good God. I thought it was weird that Jerry McDevitt like dismissed all these other people, these like writers and different people, John Arezzi and all these other people. Right. And then he was like, yeah, but like the guy on our side was like, he was in solitary for like 44 days.
Right.
It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, you can't play both sides. Do I think that Vince told people to juice? No, I don't.
Right.
Do I think that Vince saw people juicing and didn't do anything about it? Yeah.
100%.
Duh. Just like I think Bud Selig did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like he knew people were juicing in the ML. That's former MLB commissioner. He knew people were juicing. Like, do you think that like, I wish I would have given you the photo of Hulk Hogan during the golden era and Hulk Hogan in WCW, completely different guy.
Oh my God.
But it's like during the golden era of WWE, like Hulk Hogan, Warrior, these guys had like killer, like giant muscle comic book bodies. Yeah. Same thing happened in baseball. Like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa looked like these fucking giant bodybuilders just jacking home runs over the moon. And it was just a different time. And I think that once steroids got regulated and stuff like that got regulated, that was it. Like that was it, right? But the thing is, this stuff still happens today, and I don't think it happened on a smaller scale in the UFC because for like a couple of years ago, I don't know if you guys follow mixed martial arts or whatever, but they have this thing called TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. It's it's a real thing, and that you can get steroids like testosterone cypionate and androgel and different things that they make. Yeah, so you can take these legal. You can take this legal testosterone. Well, in the UFC, people were abusing it. So you had Vitor Belfort, who was this older guy that probably shouldn't have been fucking ripped to the gills, and he comes out looking like a fucking Greek god, and he's killing people. So it probably shouldn't have happened. Chael Sonnen, same deal. So he wasn't ripped or anything, but he was taking TRT. And then it became such a big deal that the UFC is like, all right, no, fuck. We're not doing this anymore. So they got rid of that. But it's like it's a common thing. Like it's still a common thing. Like I myself have taken testosterone injections for medical reasons. I stopped because I didn't need it. I didn't feel like I needed it. Right. But it's a thing that happens. And during these steroid trials, it just got so blown out of proportion. Like this, like their fucking expert witness for the defense was Nails.
Yeah, Nails. Yeah.
Who had previously I think like years before or a month before had like choked Vince McMahon in his office. Like, of course, Nails is not going to be a reputable person. Like, and they thought Hulk Hogan was going to flip. Hulk Hogan wasn't going to flip. Like, it's just what a joke. Like this whole episode was a joke. Like I thought we were going to get into something like really deep and sinister that Vince McMahon was doing. It was like, he knew about steroids to his wrestlers. How terrible. It's like, well, yeah. Well, yeah. Do you think that like NFL players don't cycle? Of course they do.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, you go ahead.
I mean, I didn't say specific players. I think there are NFL players and pro athletes that cycle. Look at Lance Armstrong.
Oh God,
people cycle. They do this stuff. So
yeah, and he what you're seeing. The thing that I come away with that from that episode with is that you're seeing the Donald Trump playbook right there in 92 or 91, whatever the steroid thing is happening. I'm the put upon guy. I'm the victim. They're all coming after me. They use the term witch hunt in the episode. So clearly you see why these guys get along with each other so well. They have the same point of view about the world, where when they break the rules, it's totally right because I'm smarter than everybody else. But when they get called out on it for breaking laws or breaking rules, it's a witch hunt. I'm a victim. They're all coming after me. The blah, 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 boo, I'm going to wear a neck brace. It's all that nonsense that you see. And it's just like, this is not tough man shit. And so to me, it promotes that toxic masculine approach to the world. It's so frustrating to see, but in the world of professional wrestling, Aaron, it is still very much the foundation of how things are done even though stuff has changed, it's still very much that foundation at the end of the day. And so that's what I come away with is seeing is like they were essentially working a blueprint. And as we said earlier, when a company buys professional wrestling, a wrestling promotion and doesn't understand professional wrestling, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to succeed. And the same thing here. The federal government took on the WWE without understanding the WWE. You got to understand the WWE. You got to understand why Hogan would walk in there and not become your star witness, because there is a respect for the business these guys have. And even Hogan says in that interview they played, if they were going to throw Vince in jail, they might as well throw everybody in the professional wrestling business in jail, because we were all doing it. We were all using it. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, Vince turned a blind eye because it was convenient and good for him business-wise, but it wasn't like he was forcing these dudes to take the roids. They did it willingly because they knew that's what Vince wanted in a kind of unwritten rule, and they were successful because of it, and they made money, lots of money because of it. So in a sense, they made their pact with the devil, and now to turn on the devil would be ridiculous, which is why they could only get people like Nails to possibly go after Vince, because they never achieved the level of success that they got with Vince. Even Ultimate Warrior walking out of that thing says the same thing. Like, he's like, oh, they're pursuing him. They're going after him. He's made so many people successful. I mean, that was an authentic quote from him as he's walking past the row of reporters.
Yeah. That's telling enough.
Yeah.
That the Ultimate Warrior's like, he's not really that bad of a guy. It's like, what? Huh? But the thing is, like, Vince himself allegedly took steroids. Like, look at him.
Oh, yeah, of course he took.
I think it's fair enough to maybe surmise that happened.
Yes, I think so.
I don't want Jerry McDevitt coming after my ass, but like, I think it's fair to surmise that probably happened.
I would say allegedly. I would feel the same way. It's my opinion. I have no fact other than my eyes. But yes, I think it was very clear. I mean, Hemsworth, I don't even, there's rumors that the guys on the Marvel side of things, to get into that kind of shape in such a quick amount of time, that there's been rumors out there about some of them cycling to look a certain way for these movies. And you're looking at Hemsworth and I'm not alleging anything. Hemsworth, I'm sure, is naturally doing it, but there are other people that possibly explore the other side of this thing to look a certain way for superhero movies. So I don't know.
Okay. So this may be controversial. If they are, I don't give a fuck.
It's their life. It's their life.
Who cares?
Yeah, right.
As long as you're not like diddling kids, I don't give a shit. Like, do whatever you want.
AJ Marshall said he just subscribed to the channel. Die Hard Wrestling. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. All right. Zero says a teenage Shane McMahon would have flipped if the government.
I feel that way too. Yeah, the shit with Stephanie was so weird. He's like, I put a hand on her shoulder. It was her father they were talking bad about. Like, you think that's the worst thing she'd ever heard about her father up to that point? Like, please.
Also, if you don't think Vince didn't bring his daughter into the fucking courtroom so that he would garner sympathy with the parents in the jury pool, you're insane. So this is the way it worked. And look, who knows? Maybe her running out was a staged thing to engender more sympathy with the jury. These are people that do storylines for a living, okay? I would not be surprised if there was a conversation. I'm not saying it did happen, but I'm saying I would be the least surprised person on earth if that was to come out, that Stephanie ran out at a certain time and they had discussed her running out at a certain time so that it would engender sympathy with the jury. So yeah,
everything is wrestling.
Yeah. Everything is wrestling for them.
Fucking storyline.
Okay, let's see. Justin Toner sent in a Streamlab here. He said, hi, John and Aaron. I agree with your takes on Halloween Havoc. I thought it was one of the better shows NXT 2.0 has done so far. Loved Hangman dressing up as Stay Puft on Dynamite to get the elite. That pop Hangman got shows how over he is. Belt him now. What do you think, Aaron?
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Okay, we're going to talk about it. All right. We'll put a pin in that, Justin.
We'll put a pin in that.
And if you haven't sent any Streamlabs and Super Chats, please do so now as we're rounding out towards the end of the show. Any questions or thoughts or comments you want us to talk about, sending in the Streamlabs is right above Aaron's head. It's pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. Do so and hit a like on this thing as well as you're watching. All right, Aaron, where are we off to next, my man?
We're going to light a fuse. We're going to talk about Dynamite. So we're going to go through the matches and we'll talk about what we liked, what we didn't like.
Okay.
So at the top of the show, we had CM Punk defeating Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
We had MJF defeating Bryce Donovan. Sammy Guevara defeated Ethan Page, not Hangman Ethan Page, but regular Ethan Page, to retain the TNT title. Hikaru Shida defeated Serena Deeb. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
We did.
John Moxley defeated Dark Order's 10, or Preston Vance, whatever you want to call him. And in the main event, the Dark Order defeated Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Adam Cole, and Kenny Omega with the help of the aforementioned Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Hangman Adam Page. So what did you think, man?
Well, first of all, I was shocked this morning when I was doing a little bit of research for our show, and I rewatched some of the CM Punk Bobby Fish. I had no idea that Bobby Fish is 45 years old.
Yeah.
That's insane. Okay. 45 and still able to put on a damn good match here with CM Punk. I enjoyed the match. I thought Punk did a really nice job with it. That being said, I think we're starting to see the cracks, brother, of his endurance. And I don't know how much longer they can keep this thing going with him. So Shivani pointed out it's his fifth match in 7 years, after a 7-year layoff, rather. And there were moments where it started to show. I thought Bobby acquitted himself well. I think it's been a great pickup for AEW coming over. And why not? You're at 45 years old. Maybe you'll take some losses, but you're going to deliver some damn good matches. So, with some great talent. So I thought that was fine. MJF, no surprise, defeating Bryce Donovan. I thought Sammy Guevara, also not a surprise. Good match, not a great match, but certainly Sammy did his thing. Shida, I thought, showed out well. Serena Deeb, I thought, showed out well. Moxley, great to see Moxley, but does it feel to you like he's an afterthought now after having been one of their biggest signings? It feels to me like now he's a fucking afterthought, which was weird. As I was watching it, I was like, there wasn't really that much promotion, and it's great that he got the victory, but I didn't see the audience pop like crazy that he won. But that finale was great. The Dark Order surprisingly getting the victory here with the help here. And Adam Cole and Kenny Omega taking an L. I just was really surprised by that, dude.
I thought the Fish and Punk match was pretty good.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said about Bobby Fish. I will agree with everything you said about CM Punk. Is the honeymoon period over?
Yeah, I think it is.
Like, I'm not here to say that CM Punk is like he's a bad wrestler. I'm not here to say that because it's not true.
Right.
And I think it takes time after you've been gone for 7 years to get back into some sort of ring shape, into a groove, if you will. And I think that's going to take a little bit more time. So I'm not worried about it from that aspect. I think you'll be fine in that aspect.
Yeah.
My problem is, are we losing mystique? Because CM Punk, like, we hear this talked about a lot, and people hate Brock Lesnar for this, but Brock Lesnar is an attraction. Yeah. Like, when Brock Lesnar comes in, you don't see Brock Lesnar often. When you do, it's like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, wow, cool, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. I can see CM Punk any week now, and it's like, this isn't like as cool as I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. I appreciate that he's working with some of the younger guys, minus Bobby Fish. Like, he worked with Darby and Daniel Garcia and Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, of course I want to see that, because I want to see CM Punk measure up with the young guys, maybe do a little on-the-job training, if you will. Sure. Little OJ. But I need, maybe this Eddie Kingston feud is going to jumpstart that. But I need CM Punk in something long-term. I don't need to see him every week wrestling on Dynamite or Rampage, because it's just like, it's just another match. It just becomes another thing. And that's CM Punk is not that guy. Like, he may think that he's that guy. Like, I'm just one of the guys. You're not one of the guys, dude. You're like the biggest star they have in the company, or one of. So yeah. It's
a weird mentality that he has, Aaron, because you're right. And you respect it because he's a blue-collar guy from Chicago. He very much wants to be lauded, but he also wants to be one of the guys. And I think you can't. Like, look at Lesnar. Lesnar does it right. Lesnar does his thing. He's on the Raw shows, but then he disappears for months. And I think that's the possibility here that Punk may have to walk the path, because we are going to start to lose the uniqueness of him being back. And because he wants to be just one of the guys, he may ending up as just one of the guys rather than the guy. And that's a dangerous path that he's walking right now as we spend more and more time with him. So that's such a great point you bring up, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose the mystique, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like, what are you supposed to do with him? Like, we got him. Yeah. If you're not going to make him world champion or put him in a top-tier feud, what are we going to do with him?
Right. That's what.
And then fight the whole fucking roster? Like, come on.
And beat them all.
And beat them all. Yeah, was he hardcore?
But not have a title. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And I'm not saying they can't write the ship. They absolutely can. But it's just like, for me right now, it's like, God damn, this is frustrating. And I didn't think I would say that when he first came in, but
yeah.
Sammy Guevara, he's continuing to do well as we thought he would. Sammy's a star on the rise. Sheeta did great, dude. Moxley, I'm changing the fucking channel every time I see this guy, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't like his style of wrestling. Yeah, I am, because like, okay, Dean Ambrose in WWE I could tolerate. Like,
right.
He was like, he's unhinged, he's crazy. Like, okay, I can deal with that. And those parameters, like, I feel like he worked. Right. Now that he's doing his own thing, which he wanted to do for so long, and everybody wanted to do for so long, like, oh my God, wait till you see Jon Moxley. I saw him when he debuted, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then ever since then, like, every week, it's less and less I give a crap.
Yeah.
Like, I just like, and it's like, maybe, and I hate to say this because I think people are going to come at me, but I'm going to say it. I think he was better off in WWE. Like, I think left to your own devices, you're just fucked. Like, he's just out there waiting in the wind. Like, I don't care.
I think you make an excellent point, brother, man. I agree with you. And whether it's controversy, I'll go down Dumb and Louise this with you, man. I feel the same way. I think he like I said, he's a little bit of an afterthought now, and he can star in an indie promotion. But once he goes to a promotion like WWE, he's a glorified mid-carder. He really is. Rollins and Reigns were always overshadowing him in terms of their matches and their abilities. Moxley was the crazy guy who could go that extra mile, sure, but the matches weren't always that memorable. And so and when he went to AEW, it was great because at the time, AEW was kind of this indie promotion that they were going to see what was there. Now that all these big stars have come to AEW, he is getting lost in the shuffle again, because that's what happened in WWE. He is a glorified mid-carder. He's a great mid-carder. He is not your star once other stars show up. And I think that's what we're seeing here. And the possibility remains. Somebody mentioned have him go heel. Great. He goes heel. That would be a great program. You put him with CM Punk. That could be exciting. Give Punk something to do, someone on his level that you could actually believe will beat him. That could drum up some good press for both of them and maybe put them back, kind of elevate them a little bit more. Not that Punk needs to be elevated more, but it could be fun to kind of have a great program with both these guys, and Punk take a loss or two within that program. That could be fun. And you revitalize Moxley, turn him into a monster heel. That's the way to go.
And let me come back with this. So I said that Dean Ambrose was better off in WWE as opposed to AEW. I think that Seth Rollins is a guy that has taken like 10 steps back. Like, I don't know what the hell happened.
Okay.
But like, I'm not interested in Seth Rollins. Like, he used to be like one of my favorite guys. I think he's still one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. I think when he's on, he's great.
Yes.
His promos and stuff and his like this whole drip thing, it's fucking dumb. Like, I don't know what they're doing with him. Like, this whole thing with Edge, like, God, stop. Like, who would have thought baby Vince, and Vince was right all along, God damn it, Roman Reigns is the guy of the Shield. Like, Roman Reigns was the big star all along. Fuck.
What a surprise. What a surprise, man.
He's right. But like, Moxley, man, God, he needs something. And Seth needs something too. They both need something.
Yeah. Well, Jonas counters you, says he has been great lately, according to Jonas Tiger, but
not working for me. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so here we go. The Dark Order versus the super elite or whatever. The
super team.
Called.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. I understand that they're doing a Ghostbusters promotion. I get it, for the Ghostbusters Afterlife film.
Yes.
I feel so bad for Adam Cole. Like, Adam Cole was on top in NXT, man. Number 2 in PWI's like top 100. Should have been number 1 in my opinion last year. Okay. Thought he had a great year. Undisputed Era, great NXT run. Leaves for AEW, huge pop. Everybody's happy to see Adam Cole. Fuck is Adam Cole doing now?
Yeah.
This is so stupid, dude. This goofy, dumb, we're going to dress up as Ghostbusters. What?
Yeah.
Why is Adam Cole doing this? And why are you facing the Dark Order? 4 jobbers nobody gives a crap about, dude. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. And you lose. And you have Hangman Page dressed up as the Marshmallow Man. It's like, dude. This show continues to be an oxymoron.
Okay.
In what way is that it's like you got some serious stuff with like Cody and Malachi Black. Like, it's kind of serious. And then this shit. And okay, I see you in the chat. It's Halloween. I understand it's Halloween. Like I said earlier, it's putting a hat on a hat because you already have, you're going to put Halloween costumes on people that are already kind of in costume. So it's a hat on a hat. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Get it out of wrestling. It's stupid and silly. I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it. It's dumb. Adam Cole wanted to go hang out with his buddies.
Yeah.
And now Adam Cole is feeling the shit. It sucks. And people were right to, a lot of people were criticizing Adam Cole for, I think, the first time in his entire life. Like, a lot of people on Twitter were furious because they love Adam Cole. They know what Adam Cole can be.
Yeah.
And they fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And they said, this is stupid. Why is Adam Cole doing this? I get it, dude. It's Halloween. It's a promotion for Ghostbusters. It's fucking dumb. That doesn't mean it's not fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for cussing so much on this episode, but I feel very strongly about it because I love Adam Cole. So
fair enough.
Stop it.
Yeah. Murderanta says Cole joined his best friends to become one of the guys. He could have been the guy, even on the main roster by himself. Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's maybe. I don't know, but I think at this point you're carrying Kenny Omega's water when you should be fighting Kenny Omega for his belt. That's the better decision. And at this point, maybe that's what they're lining up, that Cole has this breakaway. Maybe the internet fandom that's getting louder and louder, getting frustrated with what he's doing there, causes this to be the storyline. Even though the Hangman Page thing is what the setup is, it feels like at some point he's going to break away. He's going to need to break away because that dude is not built to be fourth or fifth on your fucking roster. He is built to lead a roster, lead a crew. And so Cole being like one of the dudes makes no sense. But maybe for him, this is a nice break from having carried NXT for so long that he is just kind of like, okay, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. And then eventually we're going to make the turns. And for now, I don't have to carry everything. Like, it's nice to relax a little bit. Maybe. But we shall see what this will turn out to be for sure down the road. Because I think a lot more people agree with you than don't, Aaron. And I'm one of those people that sees your point of view and is feeling the same way a little bit, because it makes no sense to bring Adam Cole in just to be in a fucking faction. That makes no sense when he's not even leading the faction.
So. Listen, man, like, the goofy stuff works for the Young Bucks because that's like the gimmick they're going for. They want you to be annoyed from them, or they want you to be annoyed with them. That's their thing. Kenny is leaning into that too, because that's his character. I get that. Like, they can be goofy and dress as Ghostbusters. I don't care.
Yeah.
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Like, the mass audience that have seen Adam Cole in NXT. I'm not talking about Ring of Honor. I'm not talking about New Japan. They haven't seen Adam Cole be a goof. Okay.
Right.
They've seen Adam Cole be serious. They've seen him win championships. They've seen him be on top of a promotion. They haven't seen him be a goof. And now he's a fucking goof.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I hope that Adam Cole turns on him.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the next step. Yeah, for Moxley to turn heel and Cole to turn on those guys. Absolutely. Orlando Orego, I think, agrees with you. Says Seth Rollins lost momentum for the Seth Rollins side of what you said. Seth Rollins lost momentum after the Hell in a Cell match with The Fiend. John Moxley was not happy in WWE and left. So now it's doing what he wanted. Now, so you go do what he wants. Roman is now the guy after WWE let him go. Left him go. So there you go.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Like, how we've gone from that to that.
Yeah.
Like, all these guys, like, so I would say that Roman is better off than all of them. Like, he's definitely had the most, and I'm not saying, okay, maybe I am. Like, everything in wrestling to me has to be kind of serious. Like, it doesn't have to be some, like, all the way serious. I'm ready to have some fun.
Right.
But I don't like silly shit like Ghostbusters. Like, get the fuck out of here. But like, it's amazing that Roman has taken this tribal chief thing and taken it as far as he has. It's wild.
Yeah. I like some of the stuff from the chat here before we wrap up. So I want to give some love here. Zeno Hours says prediction: Omega loses his titles and goes on a winless streak. Cole and YB turn on him.
He's still going to be doing goofy stuff because it's the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Jeremy says Cole did goofy stuff in NXT.
Sure.
Gramash says Aaron Cole died from drinking an energy drink. He was goofy before.
I don't know what that means.
Fair enough. And I want to give some love to Anton. Is short and fat, says Aaron is my spirit animal. And then said, you guys rock, by the way. Love your analysis. So thank you so much for
thank you, Anton.
Yeah, thank you, Anton, for watching our show. All right, let's see if we got any more Streamlabs or Super Chats. No. All right. Are we done with Dynamite?
Yes.
Oh, so AEW, rather? Are we done with that?
Okay. We're done. See you later.
Where are we going off to next?
Okay.
Impact?
So we're gonna talk about Impact Bound for Glory for a minute. And it was getting more controversy. We'll just keep it going. So Bound for Glory happened last weekend. Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee, who you may know as the Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, won the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Congratulations, ladies. Glad that happened. Okay, now we'll skip to the stuff we really want to talk about. So Mickie James defeated Deonna Purrazzo to become the Knockouts champion. All right, Mickie, good job. Now moving on. So Moose won a Call Your Shot Battle Royal earlier in the night, essentially Money in the Bank or Feast or Fire, whatever you want to call it. Gives you a title shot. And he cashed it in to defeat the newest Impact champion, Josh Alexander, right in front of his family, you bastard. And I just wanted to point out that Moose is now their Impact World Champion, which Moose is the guy I didn't know a whole lot about like a couple of years ago. Now I know a little bit more. It's an interesting call because Moose is as I'm finding out, is a polarizing figure in the internet wrestling community due to some things. In 2009, fucking 12 years ago. So in 2009, he was arrested for misdemeanor battery in a domestic dispute with his then wife, which caused WWE to pass on signing him when he was in Ring of Honor. So with that, he is a defender and friend of Chasen Rance, a wrestling trainer that was convicted of lewd and lascivious battery of a child 12 to 15 years old. He's on the sex offender registry in Florida. It's there. Look it up. He's also a dear friend and defender of Tessa Blanchard. He also once tweeted that black women are jealous of white women. And of course, I'm paraphrasing here that, stuff like that. Yikes. So, listen, man, like, I get it. I get it. Like, people are excited to see Moose be champion, I guess. He has a following of some sort. Yeah. He cut a promo this week where he, like, kind of shit on Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns, which is hilarious. But it just Impact, man. Like, what? Why? Why would you even lean on somebody like this? Yeah. So tell me your thoughts on Moose being a world champion.
I have to be honest with you, I didn't know about all that other stuff, so it does make it look a little weird. I'm always a fan of a black champion becoming champion in any promotion because it's rare, and it's still rare. No matter how many we've gotten over the last year or two, it's still a rarity in percentage wise to the amount of black wrestlers we've had in these promotions for years. But listening to you regale those stories, I mean, like, it's tough, but I'm, in my mind though, but I'm wearing an Austin shirt. There were accusations against Austin. Sure. I'm, Hogan, certainly one of my heroes and stuff like, and one of my idols, much to my, which I found out this week, the Lady Outlaw chagrin, apparently has hated him for quite some time. So that was a surprise to me this week, but like, so it's tough. It's an unsavory situation. These are people connected to him. But he did have an accusation 12 years ago, but there hasn't been anything from what you said in the last 12 years. And I haven't done the research to see. So maybe they feel like, although he may not have the best friends, he's a guy they see as a future moneymaker for them. And it's a good decision. And, Black Lives Matter. And maybe they're addressing that by having a black champion in this situation. And it was a really good heel, called him out. And that promo he delivered afterwards was a fucking good promo. So maybe they feel like this is a guy that they can take them and get some attention for them. Now that Ring of Honor is kind of gone now officially, Impact starts to get a little more momentum here, possibly as kind of this alternative promotion to watch. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they felt they could go this way.
I don't want to make it seem like when Moose became champion, I was like, fuck this. I'm burning this guy at the stake. My first reaction to things when I read it is not outrage. Never has been. My first step in thinking about something is empathy, right, or something like that. So I don't try to, and we could talk about cancel culture if you want, but it's like my first step to anything is not outrage. It's let me find out what's going on, and I'll make my own decision after that. I'm seeing people in the chat say that someone called him the N-word after the promo, and he was getting racist tweets. That ain't fucking cool. Yeah, that's not cool. That doesn't help. Like, what the fuck? It just. Impact Wrestling to me, oh, here I am by myself. Impact Wrestling to me is a nothing burger of a promotion. They have Deonna Purrazzo. They have some young talent. They have Josh Alexander, Ace Austin, Jordan Grace, and some of these people that are really good that can be developed, but they also don't move the needle. As you know, that was a popular phrase a few weeks ago. They don't do anything. So I don't know if having Moose as your champion is something you thought would move the needle, because it's not going to. It's not. So
okay, all right.
It just doesn't. Fuck
yeah,
it, man.
It's a weird situation. Like, do they have money? Or do they not have money?
I don't know.
How do they bring the inspiration in if they don't have money? That's a weird...
They're not paying them a lot. I could tell you.
Maybe that's what it is. I mean, and then why are you doing it if you're the inspiration? Do you need to wrestle that badly that you're going to take it for less money and do something here? Or do they sense that this could be a company on the rise and they want to get in now so they can be people that they promote going forward? Because not a lot of people are watching Impact. So it's a weird decision for me for both of those ladies. So I don't know. Do you see the logic in this at all?
I'm going to be okay. So we'll talk about the inspiration. Like, of course, I love the Iconics in WWE.
Yes, you did.
The more that I got to think about it, I realized something. Mm-hmm. Billie Kay, or Jessica McKay, was the star. Like, I think a lot of people thought it was Peyton Royce in the beginning, because I think Peyton's a better wrestler. I think we can say that.
Okay.
But as I'm finding out, like looking at their promos and their Twitters and their social medias, Peyton or Cassie just, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't want to say like she's not as creative or as fun as Billie. Like, it feels like Billie came up with all the good stuff, and then, like, remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about why she got released, and she was saying, like, Vince McMahon asked her to come up with something, she couldn't fucking come up with anything. Yeah. Like, and I'm seeing this again. Like, Billie or Jessica is such a standout. Like, she has really overtaken Peyton for me, and like, the more I see them together, the more I don't want it anymore. Right. I'm just like, no, I don't want this. We saw this already. I want to see Jessica by herself now. She doesn't need Cassie Lee. I think in the beginning she did. Yeah. And now I don't think she does. I think she surpassed her. Yeah. Because she can talk, and she can talk people in the room. She can make people want to fight her. Yeah. And yeah, I think she surpassed her.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredible moment in the show where Aaron Turner has finally realized the problem that was going on with these two ladies. And I agree with you 1,000%. She showed when they split up how much better she was. She really showed it in the WWE. The funniness, the inventiveness on the mic, all of that, she was great. And you also, when you heard that story from Peyton Royce, you're like, yeah, she's an introvert. And yes, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Guys are all about her and everything like that. And she's a good wrestler in the ring. But personality-wise, you got to be able to kind of keep bringing it, keep reinventing, keep doing all these things that get people on board with you. And that's what Billie Kay, in essence, does. And maybe was doing for them through a lot of their time together. This reminds me of a girl I dated years ago. She was in a duo writing team with another girl, yet she was doing 85 to 90% of the writing, and the other girl was coming in and doing 10% of the writing and commenting and making some adjustments. And she felt she was an equal partner to what my ex-girlfriend was doing. And I told her on numerous occasions, you got to let her go. You got to go on your own. You're only holding on to her because she's your friend and because people know you as a duo amongst your small group of writers. But if you're going to get to the next level, you got to get rid of her because she's not pulling her weight. And there's no reason you guys should be negotiating a 50-50 contract when you're doing a majority of the work. That makes no sense. So go and and eventually now she's one of the head writers over at the Late Late Show with James Corden. She went off on her own eventually, and she said to me on numerous occasions, when you said that kind of opened my eyes, and it was a slow process for me to accept it. Letting go of a friend was tough. I think the same situation is here. Billie Kay does not need Peyton Royce in any way, shape, or form. They're friends, though, and that's a tough bond to break, Aaron, and that may take some time. Plus, they're known as the Iconics, so come back as the inspiration. But Billie Kay has got to have the strength at some point to cut Peyton Royce as a duo and go off on her own and do her thing, maybe even within Impact, and really kind of show what you can do. And she will find her way back on the WWE roster. I guarantee it.
Let me I do want to answer something. Patrick Bell said Sir Pastor is a character, not a wrestler. Yeah, I wasn't saying that she's a better wrestler. I wasn't saying that at all. I still think Peyton is the better wrestler. But, part of wrestling is talking somebody into a room or an arena to sell tickets. That's part of it. I don't know how much of part of that it is anymore, but it's important. And I think that what Billie has done has really shown her, has done nothing but help herself. I think that you could debate looks all you want.
Sure.
Between the two. I mean, some prefer this, some prefer that. It's just, I think that when it comes down to true talent and things that you want, if you're a person that's scouting talent, it's not necessarily, and I hate to even say this, but it's not necessarily about all the wrestling skill that you have. Sometimes you need somebody that you can sell tickets, you can merchandise around. And I think that when it comes down to merchandising and stuff like that, you look at Billie Kay, that's your person. Yeah. If you had to pick between the two, that's your person, because she's going to give you some creative stuff. She's going to have something to say. Look at all those iconic clips like, hey, Kayla, and you got to be joking me. It's always Billie Kay. It's never Peyton Royce that had the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's nothing against Peyton. This is just not who you are. You can still, create a separate path for yourself and do the things that you're doing. But Billie Kay deserves the right to go, in any duo, man. There's always that one person in professional wrestling that is just a little bit better than the other guy. It's always been that way in every duo. They just work so well together. And yes, they're fine together, but Billie Kay, I think, is at this point where you have to make these decisions in order to keep sustaining a career in this business. And I think that's the next level for her. I do want to say, dude, I don't understand the Mickie James thing. Look, I know that she's back and I appreciate it. And this is not like Punk coming back, right? Mickie James isn't CM Punk. Let's make that really, really fucking clear. And I don't get why you have Brazzo lose to her. That makes no sense to me at all. Yes, there's a pop in the crowd, but on the overall internet, I can't imagine people are excited about this at Mickie James winning the belt here. It doesn't do anything for Impact at all. So I don't see the logic. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see the logic.
I love Mickie James as much as the next person. I think she's very important to the women's wrestling.
Like crazy. Yes,
she's a Hall of Famer in my book. Very integral to the women's wrestling as being as popular and as good as it is today, and has really paved the way for opportunities. That being said, does Mickie James need to be the top women's champion in a promotion in 2021? I don't think so. Yeah. And I think that Deonna Purrazzo losing to her shows that they don't have the faith that they thought they had in Deonna Purrazzo, because she's so damn good. I don't know how you didn't see that. Was this part of the contract for Mickie James to come in and do Impact dates? She had to win the title? I don't feel like that would be part of it. So it's a stupid idea from bad creative, as Chris Jericho would say. I think that's really dumb.
Yeah.
And Deonna's your girl. Deonna's your future. Yeah. Mickie James is not your future. No offense to her, but it's true. She's from a past generation. She could still go. There's no debate in that.
Yeah, she can still go. It wasn't a bad match. It just doesn't make any sense to put the belt on her. And like Aaron said, respect to Mickie James all around for everything she's accomplished, but it makes no sense to put the belt on her. None.
Would you?
You see Punk with a belt?
No, but if we flipped it, would you? Crap! I had an example and then I forgot. Oh, okay. Would you make Matt Hardy the AEW World Champion?
No, fuck no.
See, no. I don't think we would debate that Matt Hardy is a Hall of Famer. I think he absolutely is.
Yes,
but would you put the title on Matt Hardy?
No,
he's fucking capable. He can still go.
Of course,
but he's not that guy. He's not
doesn't
that guy
move the needle, as we said. Neither does Mickie. And no offense to Mickie. Not at all. But there's no excitement that Mickie James won a title at Impact. That does zero for your brand. You got to build with the youth. You know what? Mickie was once one of the youth, and they built with her in the WWE, the women's division. Same thing here. And Mickie taking the belt, I think she should have said no. We saw this last week with that, or a couple weeks ago. Well, actually last week, but we talked about that Dark Side of the Ring from 2 weeks ago with Luna Vachon. We saw, was it Summer? Was Sunny? Who was it that said she wanted to give her the belt?
Medusa.
Medusa. Medusa wanted to give her the belt because she understood, she deserves it. In this situation, Mickie And I know Mickey's always had a healthy ego about herself. Nothing wrong with that's how you accomplish things in life, male or female. Got no issue with that. But Mickey should have said, no, the smarter move is to have her win, beat me in some nefarious way. It keeps me face, it reinforces it, and it helps boost her up. Her winning a belt that means absolutely nothing to her legacy makes no sense, dude. 0 sense. And you might be right. Maybe they're not high on Deonna. If I was Deonna Purrazzo, I would not be happy with this decision. And I wonder where it goes, The
thing about Deonna, she's very smart. And the thing I like about her, while she's working in Impact, she's also getting her college degree. She's smart. She knows wrestling's not going to be forever. So I think that's very cool. She was smart enough to get out of NXT at the right time, because I'm afraid that if she was they would have cut her ass anyway, which they ended up doing. But yes, she would not be good in NXT 2.0. That's not for her. They would repackage her, give her something stupid. She goes to Impact. She's the big fish in the small pond. Now it's like, this is her show. So fucking dumb. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I can't believe we're closing in on 2 hours, Aaron. Jesus Christ.
It's been a good show, man.
It's been a good show. A lot to talk about for sure. Anything else to say on Bound for Glory or anything with Impact?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's move into our last section here. We got ourselves a little fun with Shotzi. I put this on the rundown because, we do talk about SmackDown Raw every once in a while, but only some of the stuff that we want to talk about. I got to get you're a big Shotzi Blackheart person. You were a fan of hers coming out of NXT, getting into the main roster. Looks like Dakota Kai is back down now.
Yeah,
it looks like that's what's happening now. They changed her name to Shotzi, which I don't have a problem with, to be honest with you. She keeps the tank. She does all the things. But she went full on heel and announced that she is a primetime player for this woman's title, kicking the crap out of Sasha Banks and then taking on Charlotte Flair in a loss. But what did you think about this decision creatively? And then what did you think about how Shotzi did with this opportunity on SmackDown?
Let me first lead with why I like Shotzi. I think she's unique.
Yeah.
I think she's definitely a character. I think that she leans into that where you could believe that's the real person. Like, okay, it's just herself turned up.
Yep.
And that's always the best characters. And I'm going to make this comparison, but I don't mean it in the way that I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is Steve Williams with the knob turned to fucking 20.
Interesting.
Dwayne Johnson, same way. It's just the same philosophy. I don't think that she's on that level. My God, she's not on that level.
Right.
Do I think that Ashley Flair is turned up to about 12 or 13 to be Charlotte Flair? Absolutely. I think it's the same kind of scenario. Mercedes Vernado to Sasha Banks, same way.
Right.
I think it's the same kind of principle you can apply here. And I think that's what makes her good. Is her wrestling work fantastic? It comes and goes. Sometimes
I agree
it's good.
with you. Sometimes
it's good. Sometimes it's not great.
Yeah.
Is she willing to take chances that she probably shouldn't take?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not for me to say. But anyway, I think that she can talk. I think when people see her, they go, wow, that's interesting. I think kids look up to her. Like, they dress like her for Halloween. They think she's really cool. So it's a natural fit for her. She's a new face in the women's division on SmackDown, which they've needed forever. I mean, how many times have we talked about there being 8 women on SmackDown?
Yeah, true.
Ridiculous.
Very true.
So now Shotzi's there. They removed the Blackheart. It's not terrible.
Nah.
But and they actually gave her some character, damn it. Like, she was shooting a tank, howling at the moon, which is great, but I get it. She's like kick-ass rocker chick. But now they gave her a different dimension. Like, Sasha Banks, I'm going to put up your bullshit. Like, I'm going to beat your ass. And I thought that was awesome. Yeah. And here's the deal. Did she turn heel? I guess because people were booing her, but she beat up Sasha Banks, to me, who is a heel.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works, because Sasha allegedly is anti-vax. So I'm anti-Sasha. So I don't care if she beats the shit out of her, honestly. But yeah, man, it's a different dynamic for Shotzi. So like we talked about earlier with different people, John Moxley, you give him a different shot in the arm. You change it just enough to where it might work. And let's see what we got here. I think we've got something with Shotzi. Let's keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, there are shortcomings with her, man. If you watch the match, her trying to dive through the ropes and completely did not nail that at all, and almost hurt herself doing that. Those are the moments where I go, my God, I'm so fucking frustrated when I see that, because it's so close to being good, because all the elements are there, but it doesn't quite. Same thing with Mandy, putting the hand way out before the chair and taking it as if she got hit it's just frustrating when you see that, because you're like, okay, there's potential here, but why can't you make that extra step? What is the problem that holds you back from making that extra step? And yeah, kicking the shit out of Sasha, that was great. But once the match happened, there were some good moments and not so good moments, and Charlotte was having to work hard to make her be a part of this thing. And I really don't know what they're doing with Sasha. Yeah, you say anti-vax, and that's cool and all, but I don't know if that weighs into all of this. But like, I don't know what they're doing with her, dude. Is she fighting on one side of the, or is she fighting on the other? Like, what is going on with her?
I don't know.
It seems like she's lost right now because they don't know where they want to put her. And you might be right. Maybe the anti-vax thing has something to do with it, but where are they going to go? They had it with Becky and Bianca. Now it's with Shotzi and Charlotte. It just feels all kinds of weird to me, man. I don't know.
They still haven't explained why Sasha wasn't at SummerSlam. Like, explain that first.
Yeah. True.
Then, which they're not going to, but it's like, I think that like, even when Sasha comes out, she gets a big pop. Still gets a big pop. People love Sasha. I get it. To me, she's not like, she just isn't that person. But and I would be stupid to deny that she's as good as she is. She's great. She's an all-time women's talent. But I think that what they've done here, like even in the promo, when Charlotte was like talking to Sasha, she was like, "Oh, look, she's got a tank. Isn't that adorable?"
Mm-hmm.
And then Shotzi just completely flipped it and was like, "No, I'm just gonna beat your ass."
Yeah,
and it's a character swap. I love it. And there was these rumors. Dave Meltzer put up these rumors that they were going to change Shotzi's character and that she was going to be something completely different, and she was going to be like this disgruntled actress or something like that, and then that's not what happened. So fuck off, Meltzer.
Thank God.
And it's just thank God. But yeah, Shotzi as a character is good.
Yes,
the wrestling will come. I think. I
hope so.
But yeah, she's good for what she is right now. It's a breath of fresh air for that women's division that needs it.
Well, also the frustrating part is, where's Tony Storm? Do you know what I'm saying, dude?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where is Tony Storm? I'm sitting here going like, let's go. And you want to talk about someone who can go? She can go. She's damn good on the mic, and she's a damn good wrestler. Why aren't we looking at her right now? I'm so frustrated by that, dude.
Why do we pretend like the WWE main roster women's division has 5 wrestlers?
Yeah.
And every week we must have a match between Liv Morgan and Carmella. We don't fucking need it anymore.
Yeah, no.
Stop it.
Carmella needs to get out of that program, and they need to revitalize her. Carmella's a goddamn good wrestler. Give her fucking more to do. Give her a shot at these titles. Let her win to see what the reaction is, for God's sakes, because she deserves it, man. Putting her with Liv Morgan is just a waste. A waste, because Carmella is devolving, fighting someone who is nowhere near where she's at as a wrestler, in my opinion.
I don't know what people see in Liv Morgan. Like, she has like a really strong contingent of people that root for her. I'm not saying that she's like a bad person or anything. I just don't see what other people see.
I agree. Yeah,
does nothing for me.
Orlando Orego says, I disagree with Mickey winning. I'm very happy that she won. Plus, they haven't built a division while Deonna was champion, I guess is what he's trying to say. All right, that's fair.
Well, that's not Deonna's fault.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Mickey James going to build a division?
Well, she sure as hell isn't. The thing is, like, when they had this working relationship with AEW and Impact, what they should have done was bring in their lower tier women's wrestlers to get fed to Deonna Purrazzo. Like, she should just fucking beat them all. Yeah. She'd go to the NWA, just beat them all. And then that way she would be established. She doesn't beat Britt Baker. She doesn't beat your top tier, your Sheetas, your Serena Deep. She doesn't beat your top tier talent. She beats your lower card people. I don't know who's lower card. Penelope Ford, the Bunny. Sure. She beats them. Because it makes sense. And then that's how you build around it. Like, wow, Deonna Purrazzo could beat anybody. So that's cool. And then you have some other strong person beat her in Impact. You build around her. That's how the Chiefs were only okay without Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes.
Look, Alex Smith got him in the playoffs. They just didn't win a Super Bowl until Mahomes showed up. Yeah.
Hey, apparently there's a contingent out there that thinks that Tom Brady has always had a super team. Okay, there's a contingent of people out there that fucking believe.
What?
Yeah.
What?
There's a huge debate on in football Twitter about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and the main talking point was that Tom Brady has always had a super team, and Aaron Rodgers can win with anybody. And it's like, dude. How many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won? How many Super Bowls has Aaron Rodgers
with nobody receivers? And the one time he did have a great receiver, he didn't win the Super Bowl.
They went 18-1
and still didn't win the Super Bowl. So it's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. And no running back of any note. No.
The great what's his name? Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the law firm.
The law firm. The great Kevin Falk. And don't forget the short time they had clock killing Corey Dillon. Okay?
Corey Dillon, that's right. Oh my God, ridiculous. Yeah, no. Tom has won with
Aaron
less
Rodgers,
in the cupboard than anybody else.
Fucking Aaron Rodgers has had Jordy Nelson and fucking Devontae Adams and like all these great receivers. And fucking. Well, he had Eddie Lacy for a minute.
And I'm saying he had damn good running backs. He had better running backs than the Patriots did. I think in mass, you would say the Packers have had better running backs than. Now it's because Aaron Rodgers he defers to the coach. He's not an alpha. Tom is an alpha. Tom wants to win, and Tom does what needs to be done to win. There are two goats in the Schmodown. And there's one person who wins the top title all the time, and that's my brother Dan Murrell. So I'm a GOAT in a different way. He is a GOAT like Tom Brady, and I will absolutely defer to him, and I will never say, because he puts the time in. I've seen the books of notes. He doesn't put it in a computer on files. He has written books of notes on almost every film ever made that he studies constantly. That's Tom Brady. That's how you become Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, maybe more like me, a natural talent, natural knowledge, what have you. Maybe doesn't put in the same kind of Herculean effort. And that's the difference. It's got nothing to do with fucking stock teams or anything like that. The quarterback makes so much difference, man. It really does.
I could beat Dan Murrell.
No, I'm saying no.
Andrew Guy did. I can beat him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
all right, let's get out of here before you get wrong delusion. All right, Biggie James, calm down. All right, that's it. That's it from us here on Strong Style. We should wrap it up. It's the first time we've done a 2-hour show in a very, very long time. Although we did one last week, but that was
a long one. Yeah.
It wasn't an intentional 2-hour show. This is an unintentional 2-hour show. Thank you very much for joining us here. We love you madly. The chat was hopping. Good to see some new faces in here.
Thanks, guys.
It was really fun. We hope you appreciate everything we talked about. As I said, please remember to hit a like on this video and share it on your social media. Thanks for all the Streamlabs and the Super Chats. We appreciate that as well. Aaron, another fun show. Please let people know where they can follow you and everything you got going on, my man.
Follow me on Twitter at @OnlyAaronTurner. And if you guys want to, if you feel jaded by like your Hulk Hogan's and your Ric Flairs and your Shawn Michaels and your Adam Coles, you hate my opinions, just know that Bret Hart is the man. So invest.
There he is.
Invest in the Hitman. Invest in the Hitman.
Are there any NFTs of the Hitman? Is that what's coming?
I don't know if he has NFTs or not, but I do have 2 Bret Hart rookie cards.
Nice.
Pretty good these days.
There you go. Respect. All right, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. If you haven't done so, please do so. And please, more than anything else, subscribe to the channel down below. We're so close to crossing 19,000 subscribers. Come aboard the Outlaw Nation train. Come join us here and subscribe down below. Hit that bell button so you see when we're dropping all the new content we do as well. See all the shows we got coming up in about an hour. The Ultimate Schmodown after show. Those guys are going to have Shazam, William Bobby Bibiani, and Brendan Meyer, the Kid, on there to talk about their run as tag team champions. And the most recent event last night, the Versus that happened last night, which was really a fun match to watch if you haven't watched that. So they'll be talking about all that and more. And who knows? Maybe the Outlaw will pop on for 5 minutes. You never know, as I did last week. But yeah, be a part of everything we got going on here. And that's it from us. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new live episode next week, Saturdays at 12 p.m. PT of Strong Style.